أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء.
With the recitation from the Holy Quran, I will call on Hafiz, Iman Bilal, a good man, to please recite for us from the Holy Quran.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Recording in progress.
يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء. واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وآتوا اليتامى أموالهم ولا تتبدلوا الخبيث بالطيب ولا تأكلوا أموالهم إلى أموالكم إنه كان حوبا كبيرا. وإن خفتم ألا تقسطوا في اليتامى فانكحوا ما طاب لكم من النساء مثنى وثلاث ورباع فإن خفتم ألا تعدلوا فواحدة أو ما ملكت أيمانكم ذلك أدنى ألا تعولوا. وآتوا النساء صدقاتهن نحلة فإن طبن لكم عن شيء منه نفسا فكلوه هنيئا مريئا. Translation. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. O ye people, fear your Lord, who created you from a single soul and created therefrom its mate, and from them so sprang many men and women. And fear Allah, in whose name you appeal to one another, and fear in particular respecting ties of relationship. Allah was just and give to the orphans their property and exchange not the bad for the good, and divide not their property with your own. Surely it is a great sin. And if you fear that you will not be fair in dealing with the orphans, then marry of women as may be agreed to 2 or 3 or 4. And if you fear you will not deal justly, then marry only one or what your right hands possess. That is the nearest way for you to avoid injustice. And give the women their dowries willingly, but if they of their own pleasure remit to you a part thereof, then enjoy it as something pleasant and wholesome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Waalaikum salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakallah khair Buddha Hafiz Iman Billah Usman. Next item on the agenda is Qasida, and I will call on Hafiz Abdurrafiq Alaka to please recite the Qasida for us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. هذه قصيدة من قصائد مؤسس الجماعة الإسلامية الأحمدية حضرة مرزا غلام أحمد القادياني عليه السلام في مدح سيده وسيد الثقلين محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. يا عين فيض الله والعرفان يسعى إليك الخلق كالظمآن يا بحر فضل المنعم الحنان تهوي إليك الزمر بالميزان يا شمس ملك الحسن والإحسان يا شمس ملك الحسن والإحسان نورت وجه البر والعمران سجح كريم خل التقى سجح كريم باذل خل التقى خرق وفاق طائف الفتيان فاق الورى بكماله وجماله فاق الورى بكماله وجماله وجلاله وجنانه الريان لا شك أن محمدا خير الورى لا شك أن محمدا خير الورى ريب الخرام ونخبة الأعيان تمت عليه صفات كل مزية ختمت به نعماء كل زمان هو فخر كل مطهر ومقدس وبه يباهي العسكر الروحاني هو خير كل مقرب متقدم الطل ليس كالدهتان هو جنة إني أرى أثماره هو جنة إني أرى أثماره وقطوفه قد ذللت لجناني يا رب صل على نبيك دائما يا رب صل على نبيك دائما في هذه الدنيا وبعث ثاني. Translation. This is a poem composed by the only founder of Ahmadiyya Muslim community, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian, on whom be peace, in praise of his master, Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. O you who are the fountain of Allah's beneficence and divine understanding, people throng towards you like the thirsty rushing towards water. O you who are the ocean of the grace of the benefactor and bountiful God, people flock to you with empty cups in their hands. O you, the son of the kingdom of beauty and virtue, you have illuminated the desert as well as the cities. Of noble character, revered, bounteous, friend of the God-fearing, he excels all in the field of virtue. In excellence and beauty, he surpasses all, and in glory and cheerfulness of heart. Without any doubt, Muhammad is the best of the best, a man of extreme generosity, the soul and strength of the nobles, the elect among the elect. All noble virtues culminated in his person. The blessings of all times reached their apex in him. By God, Muhammad is the vicegerent of God, and through him alone can one reach the royal court of God. He is the pride of the pious, the holiest. He is the pride of the spiritual legions of man of virtue. He excels all those who were close to God. Indeed, excellence is a matter of noble deeds and not limited to time. Reflect. The drizzle precedes the heavy rain. Yet, drizzle is drizzle, and rain is rain. It is a garden, and I see that its fruits and clusters have been brought within the easy reach of my heart. O Allah, shower your endless blessings upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this life as well as the next. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan. Hafiz Abrobi Alakasa. The next item on the agenda is opening prayers. Please join me in silent prayers. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Amen. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. The respected acting the respected members on the platform, the respected circle presidents on the platform, respected Mubanigin on the platform, respected Mualimin, respected members of the Majlis Ansarullah, Majlis Buddha, and Majlis the Afal and Nasrat, evenly joining. I say to all of us, all participants, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So let me welcome us to Rishtanata, the national seminar on how to achieve peace in our various homes. My opening remark will be very brief to the extent that we will go to the main points. But I just want to remind us all that the Almighty Allah has put us together has His full purpose of putting us together as husbands and wives. And the purpose of putting us together was and has always been clearly stated in the Holy Quran. And when I say the purpose of marriage is clearly stated in the Holy Quran, I mean, I refer to Surah Al-Rum, chapter 30 of the Holy Quran, verse 22. In that verse, Almighty Allah says that وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُمْ مِنْ أَنْفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بينكم مودة ورحمة إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. In verse, Almighty Allah stated that it is a sign of Almighty Allah that He has present one among you to start to know Eliha. That is the point I want to underline. That you may enjoy comfort between yourself. That you will have comfort between yourself. Let us underline that word very carefully. The essence of marriage to my mind is for comfort. So what we need to achieve in the man is 100% comfort between husband and wife. That's our target. That is our target. So we need to make sure that we work towards 100%. What we are seeing nowadays is a reduction in the level of comfort that we are having today in Japan. And if we want to reform other people to achieve comfort, then we must have a platform for that comfort. So, let me welcome everyone on how to brainstorm on ensuring that the man achieve comfort in all our homes, so that all those who is joining us, the new buyers that will come in, will see us as exemplary. And we shouldn't say anything with word of mouth. I'm very sure the secretary is like committee and the secretary Rishtanata himself are being thrown up with a lot of issues that are coming to us. And women and the children are the receiving end. So a lot of attention needs to be paid to this program by the members of Majlis and Sarda Nigeria, members of the Majlis Udam and Ahmadiyya Nigeria, as well as Lajna and Divider as well. I know the Lajnas are significantly at the receiving end. And what do I mean? I mean a situation where men would abandon their wives with 4 children, some with 3 children, some with 2 children, some with 5 children. And they want the women to be taken care of those people. And when the man intervenes to say, no, this is very unfair, please make sure you provide their sustenance as God like Allah has provided for you. They will still give one condition or the other to the man, and they will not those promises. What does this mean? For me, it's like a direct attack on an aspect. Comfort is so I think there are erudite speakers there are only trying to give attention from my experience, which has been very disturbing of our relationship. And it seems to me that we don't know when not to cross the boundary of Allah, especially women, which crossing the boundary of Allah, when the boundary is clearly set, our responsibilities we need to fulfill them, and it's after we fulfill our responsibility, we leave things in the hand of Allah and keep on praying, and also maintain our good moral stand. So I once again pray by being it's the source of blessing to us in Nigeria, source of blessing to the members of Nigeria, members of Majlis Udam Ahmadiyya Nigeria, as well as members of Lajna Nigeria, and to our children, the Afal and the Nasa, because I know a lot are passing through trying times right now. So I pray that this seminar and every of our home. So once again, I welcome each and every one of us to this program. As usual, because they have been on the road from the Merit International University, for which some of us have had the report and just arriving at Lagos now. So I couldn't make it to the headquarters to see right there, and even around there, the respected military in charge had graciously agreed to command the group. Invariably, he too is out of the station there. So I called on respected principal of the Abdulaziz Ahmad sir to please proceed to see at the chairman's place to preside over the meeting, and we will continue with the meeting. So, Principal Azim sir. Yeah, okay. So with that, I think we can carry on. I will be giving to the president as usual, and we'll move to the next one. The first item on the agenda is achieving a peaceful and crisis-free home, the role of husband, wife, and parents, by missionary Abdul Bahar Olumumi. So, Principal sir, can you please go to chairman's table for this recording, and then missionary Olumumi sir will continue to direct
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن آياته أن خلق لكم من أنفسكم أزواجا لتسكنوا إليها وجعل بينكم مودة ورحمة إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتذكرون. The topic of my lecture is achieving a peaceful and crisis-free home, the role of husband, wife, and parents. One of the greatest blessings that Allah the Almighty has blessed mankind with is the blessing of family. The intention of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for marriage is to enjoy comfort and peace of mind. The religion of Islam involved fully in the issue of marriage because Allah and His Messenger knew very well that it is only in marriage that we can enjoy life better. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam have said that ad-dunya mata'un wa khairu mata'u dunya imra'atun salihah. Meaning, this world is a temporary enjoyment, but the best enjoyment of this world is to have a good spouse. Marriage therefore goes beyond the union of two people who share the same interests and passion. It's a sign of Allah's greatness and that nothing can destroy a strong marriage if the foundation is built with love, sincerity, faith, and fear of Allah the Almighty. In fact, it must be noted that Allah the Almighty called marriage kitab of the reason in the Holy Quran, which means a very strong covenant. That is why the law in the Quran regarding marriage and a hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam all aim at increasing the love of husband and wife in marriage. But unfortunately, some of us came up with our un-Islamic and unacceptable character to spoil our marriages. Some of us have a very good character before our marriage, which prompted some men or women to propose to us, but after the marriage, we change entirely and show our true color. Does it mean we were pretending before? Therefore, we should work on ourselves and continuously reform ourselves for better. The very first foundation to build a peaceful and crisis-free home is prayer, seeking Allah's guidance and assistance. This is because marriage is looked upon as a life contract in Islam, and the person who knows the future of every being must fully be involved and carried along. As an Ahmadi Muslim, while laying the foundation of our home, the standard put in place by Allah the Almighty for us to follow, reflect, or at least aspire to attain is the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In Quran chapter 33 verse 22, Allah says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ وَالْيَوْمَ الْآخِرَ وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. Meaning, verily, you have in the Prophet of Allah an excellent model for him who fear Allah and the last day, and who remembers Allah's much. This shows the ultimate goal of any Ahmadi Muslim in achieving a peaceful and crisis-free home. Let us now briefly discuss some of the things that will help both the husband and wife in achieving a peaceful and crisis-free home. 1. Good manners. It must be noted that your spouse is the most important person to you in the world. Because of this, he deserves the best possible behaviors from you. But unfortunately, people reserve the worst behaviors for those closest to them and do good to the people outside. Is it because they are seeing each other's weaknesses every day? You have to always remember that this is the person you have chosen to love, to be happy with, and to live the rest of your life with. It is very disheartening to observe that some of us are having dual personality or dual characters. We are good outside. We are very good in the mosque, in the program, at our meetings, but we are very wicked and with bad characters at home. This not good for us as an Ahmadi, and this shows that all the trainings we have received in the Jamaat are not having positive impact in our life. We therefore need to work on ourselves. Our beloved Imam, Abu Masih al-Khamis, Aziz said in his Friday sermon of 4th of April 2008, I quote, "The system of the Jamaat can carry out reformation to a certain degree. However, each individual must engage in his own reformation himself. If every Ahmadi will heed to the warning of the promised Messiah, where he says, 'One whose conduct is not good, I am afraid his faith is in danger,' then every Ahmadi's heart will quiver and it should quiver. No wonder that Holy Prophet Muhammad sallam, while talking about good morals, he said, أكمل المؤمنين إيمانا أحسنه خلقا وخياركم خياركم لنسائكم. That is, those who have completed their faith among the believers are those who are good in characters and behaviors, and the best of you are those who are best to their wife. Again, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was referred to have also said, أحب عبادة إلى الله أحسنه خلقا. That is, the best among my servants, the best person in the sight of Allah among the servants are those who are good in characters and behaviors. Then Allah wrapped it up in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 190. Allah says, وَأَحْسِنُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Do good, because Allah the Almighty loves those who are doing good. Therefore, always remember that your characters or manners must be such that will bring comfort in the house and not discomfort. Greet your husband as a wife when you wake up. Express appreciation. Thank you. Say sorry when at fault. It is a love music. Don't yell at your husband. Be kind, polite, gentle with your spouses. These are the expectations from you as an Ahmadi Muslim. Another point is respect. One of the character that is lacking in our marriages today, and even every woman are not trying to even work on it, is the issue of respect. What every single man desires from his wife is that he should be respected. When you respect your husband, then your husband will reciprocate the respect with love and caring. Most women forget about respect in their marriages today and just focus only on love. Love is just how you feel about people, while respect is how you place and prioritize your husband, how you see and honor him. Unfortunately, some women disrespect their husband at home and they want peace of mind. Peace may not be possible. Though some husbands need to respect themselves too. You don't beg for respect, you earn it through discipline. You disrespect your husband by insulting him, by doing to him what he dislikes. A woman must know how to respect her husband if she wants to get love and care from him. Respect the judgment and decision of your husband. It is one of the means of achieving peaceful and crisis-free home. The issue of respect is so important in Islam to the extent that the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was reported to have said that لو كنت آمر أحد أن تسجد لأحد لأمرت امرأة أن تسجد لزوجها. If I am to command anybody to prostrate to anybody, I would have commanded women or wife to be prostrating to the husband. This shows how the issue of respect is important in Islam. Another issue which will assist us to live a Christ-free marriages is intimacy. Intimacy is such an important aspect in marriage that has been causing crisis in some homes, but difficult to discuss when called for the solution. Part of the respect a woman gives her husband is not to deny him his intimacy. A woman should not refuse her husband except she is sick or she is in her menstruation. When a woman says no to her husband, it is not just that she turned him down, but this is the highest of disrespectful acts to the husband. This hurts the ego of a man more than anything else. Some women at this point will say, is it a food? Yes, I'm telling you today that it's a food for every married man, except if that man is sick, or he needs, or is having backache, or is lazy, or is very weak. Allah has made it as a source of happiness for both husband and wife, and man who is very weak in this aspect needs to treat himself to be a real man. A lot of psychologists agree that if a man is satisfied and happy with intimacy, he will overlook all other shortcomings of a woman. In fact, 98% of issues from the husbands in marriages comes because he is not happy in the bedroom. If a woman did not satisfy this urge in man, every small issue becomes big one. Sometimes the wife may not understand the cause of all the complaints, but reason is he has been disrespected. The Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew this and knows how serious it is. That was why he was referred to have said that if a woman refused the deeds for her husband, angel in the heaven will be cursing her till morning. Allah now wrapped it up in the Holy Quran chapter 2, verse 2 to 4. That nisa'ukum harthun lakum fa'tu harthakum an-nafsikum. That your wife are like this to you, enter your field anytime you wishes. Why is our religion strict about it? It is because when this is taken care of, marriage will generally be okay. Therefore, women should stop doing like a fish on the bed and make their marriage peaceful through it. We do shy away from it, but it is a fact which we need to address. Another important issue is the issue of trust in marriage. Trust is an indispensable ingredient in building and maintaining a healthy marriage. Without trust, the quality of your relationships will deteriorate. A marriage that lacks trust is severely headed to the road of divorce. Trust is the glue that holds a healthy marriage together to thrive and to be fulfilled. The most common causes of distrust in marriage are lying and extramarital affairs. People who involve in extramarital affairs are people who do not have principle. People who are principled don't cheat on their husband. It means you are strong. When it comes to matter of decision, when you say no, it is no. You work on yourself and stand by it and don't do it. Therefore, rebuild your trust and be comfortable with each other without doubting yourself. Love yourself and work as a team. This is an ingredient for peaceful marriage. Another thing that I want to quickly address, which has just started causing issue among the husband and wife, is the issue of checking the phone of our spouse. Let me tell you that those who are checking their husband or their wife phones know that it is not good. If not, why are they hiding? Most of the women doing it are feeling insecure. Therefore, if you observe any changes in your husband, go to him and ask him and open a discussion. Let us assume that you saw something in your spouse's phone. Who are you taking it to? Are you taking it to the social media, or you are taking it to his in-law, to your in-law? Some women need to understand that for them to achieve peace of mind, they just need to not to disturb themselves with some of these minor issues. When people hide things from you, it simply means they are not proud of it. It is called mistake or a past. Focus on your marriage and stop disturbing yourself upon all. Let us all fear Allah and let us all fear Allah in all our dealings. Now, according to the topic, we am to discuss the responsibility or the role of husband and wife in achieving the peaceful and crisis-free marriages. So therefore, for us to achieve peaceful and crisis-free marriages, both husband and wife need to understand responsibility. Therefore, I quickly discuss responsibilities of husband in the issue of marriage. Number one, man must know that he is the head of the family and he is going to be accountable for it if he fails to perform his duty diligently. As a man, you are expected to be kind to your wife, do good to her and love her. Allah commands the Quran, وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Deal with your wife, live with them in a good and best way. As a man, you are not expected to hate your wife for any of her faults. You need to understand that your wife is not an angel, just as you are not a saint either. Therefore, the Prophet of Allah has made us understand and warned us that la yafrahu mu'minun mu'minan in kariha minha khuluqan faradiya minha khuluqan akhar. Let no man hate his wife for any reason. If he dislikes any of her character, let him love her for some other characters. Therefore, it is important for man to understand the fact that his wife is part of him and he must treat him like an honorable person. Someone must ask about Ali Rahimahullah that how will my wife take me like a king? The response was that if you want your wife to take you like a king, take her like a queen. That is life. So therefore, among the responsibility of man is to spend on his wife. This is a great responsibility. The Holy Prophet Muhammad was correct to have said that whenever a man spends on his family, attract reward from Allah, while he fails to do so, will invite divine wrath. Therefore, man should not be miser. It is important for us to understand the fact that once you are spending on your wife, Allah will continue providing for you. But if you give that responsibility to your wife, Allah will be providing for your wife and be denying you the provision, because you are the head of the family, and for the fact that Allah has made you the head of the family, Allah will definitely assist you. Another thing is that man should not beat his wife. You don't beat your wife. It is never the act of men of honor. Therefore, always remember that your wife is not a slave and must not be treated as a property. We should learn to tolerate each other. Men should know that Allah is well aware of whatever is doing, hidden or manifest. Therefore, as a man, profess your love for your wife. Give her a deserved quality time and make sure you play with love with her. Another thing is the issue of communication gap. There should be no communication gap between husband and wife. Once there is a communication gap, there will be a sort of continuation in crisis. Therefore, communication is very essential for healthy marriage. When you talk, you understand yourself better. Don't presume or think he or she should have understood you. Upon all, as a man, you have to be very prayerful. You should pray together with your wife, because the couple that prays together stays together. Responsibilities of a wife. The wife at home must understand that one of vital responsibilities that she needs to discharge is to obey her husband in all respects and administer his comfort. In Quran, Allah says, the purpose of marriage is a task that you may see peace of mind in her while working together. But ilayha that Allah used here, it means that while coming to her, you'll be seeing peace of mind. Allah did not use ma'aha, Allah used ilayha, which means that as long as both of you are working together, you will always be receiving the peace of mind from Allah the Almighty. So therefore, it is among the responsibility of a woman to administer the comfort of her husband. She should live with him and cover his secrets and weaknesses. Allah says, "Kunna libasun lakum wa antum libasun lahunna." They are like clothes for you, and you also like clothes for them. So, and the purpose, the work of clothes is to cover our nakedness and weaknesses. Among the responsibilities of a wife is that she should be clean and make sure the house is neat. The Holy Prophet Muhammad was supposed to have said that if the wife does not properly beautify herself for a man, she will lose her importance in his eyes. Some of us used to beautify ourselves before we got married, but after marriage, we don't look good for our husband any longer, and we are complaining that our husband don't love us again. We should know that men are facial beings and women are emotional beings. Men appreciate good and beautiful things when they see it. Women need to feed the eyes, and women need to feed the eyes of their husband every day. Some of us as a woman, when we are going out for walks, that's the time we beautify ourselves and we leave our husband at home. We don't think or we don't work on how we look good to our husband. When we come back from the work, we look shabby. We don't beautify ourselves. And man, the way Allah has created man, is in such a way that he appreciates good things. When you beautify yourself for your husband will keep on loving you. That is how Allah has made it. So therefore, always look beautiful for your husband. Package yourself well for your husband so that he will continue to be loving you. In marriage, women do everything to make sure that that household and the husband keep on loving her. All what she be doing that the husband will be loving her is what is expected of the woman to be doing. Therefore, we need to work on this. Some women will say, no matter what you do, he will not appreciate it. Some women used to complain about the husband that even if you dress up, if you do everything, he will not appreciate it. Try your best. The man sees it, he may not talk. You should love your husband and always try to please him and be submissive. When your husband offends you, forgive him for the sake of peace and harmony at home. You should always be very prayerful also. Now, the third thing is the role of parents in marriage. The first and foremost role of parents in marriage is to be praying perfectly for the success of their children's marriage. This is the first role that parents need to do. It is not to be involving every time. The prayer is the first thing. If our children have been well trained morally and spiritually, they will not be witnessing crisis in their marriages. Hence, parents should take good care of the training of their children. Parents need to give their children breathing space and allow them to build their own home too. As parents, we should not always think that the way things work during our days is the same way that things are work for our own children. Therefore, we need to understand this as a parent. Some couples are fond of calling their parents whenever there is an issue among them. As couples, we need to know that marriage is meant for two mature people. Get yourself seated and settle it first before involving anyone. After all, if your parents are not alive, aren't you going to live your life? Sometimes advices are too many from both parents to the extent that those children will not know which to follow and eventually take a wrong decision. Therefore, parents need to understand that what they need to be doing to their children is for them to be praying for them frequently. One of the reasons that can make parents involved in their children's marriages is when they are beginning to do something un-Islamic or they are not functioning well in the Jamaat. Because the Holy Prophet Muhammad has said that one of the blessings or reward that parents will be receiving after their death is the prayer of their children. Hence, if those children are not functioning well Islamically, they may not remember to pray for their parents. And this is the reason why parents need to take care of this if they observe that the children are deviating. Our mothers should take things easy and leave these children to live their life. Continue praying for them. Lastly, marriage conflict briefly. We need to understand that conflict or crisis in home need not pose a threat to the peace of home. It is the attitude of the couples to these conflicts that determines its effect on the home. We should understand that marital crisis may destroy a marriage, but at the same time, it may also strengthen it. And that is why Allah Almighty did not make the marriage of Islam as a super one. Because if there is no crisis or conflict in the marriage of Islam, we we would not have seen place to learn our lesson today. So therefore, all the marriage we are seeing here and there, they all have their up and down. They manage it. Therefore, we keep on managing ourselves. Nobody is perfect, and with prayer, we keep on managing ourselves. The determinative factors is how we handle our crisis. A successful Muslim marriage is not necessarily one in which there is no conflict, but rather one in which the partners have learned to resolve their differences openly, honestly, and constructively. We should be committed to preserve our marriage covenants. It is only within the context of a loving and irrevocable commitment that marital conflicts can be successfully resolved. When couples are determined not to let anything put asunder their marital unions established by Allah the Almighty. Therefore, if we are deeply committed to preserving our marriage covenants, we will not allow any issue to divide us as couples. We will not permit any argument to degenerate into an hostile confrontation. We will not waste our time quarreling over unnecessary things. Fellow listeners, I believe this marriage seminar will bring a lot of positive changes in our marriages. What is important for us is for us to understand the fact that we are an Ahmadi and we have to be different from people outside there. Some of us as an Ahmadi, we are not taking the Holy Prophet and Prophet Messiah as our model. We are taking the celebrities as our model. That is why some of the crises and conflicts in our marriages are not being resolved. We pray to Allah the Almighty to assist us in our marriages and to be with us in all our lives. Thanks for listening. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Jazakumullahu khairan for the well-researched and impressive lecture. May Almighty increase you in knowledge and wisdom. Now we will listen to the short translation of the lecture in Yoruba and Hausa languages. May I request those who want to translate, and you are given 5 minutes each.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Duk godiya ya tabbata ga Allah Ubangiji Allah mai rahma. Magana da muka zo da yau da muna yin a cikin taron nan samina da ana yin yau shine batun matsaloli da ana samu cikin aure kuma hanya da za a bi da za a samu lafiya. Na farko malam da ya yi mana wa'azin nan ya fara da cewa farko abin da ya kamata a ce dukanmu mu saya a kan shi ne mu yadda da Allah kuma mu saya a kan addu'a. Addu'a ne zai rinke mana gidanmu kuma da addu'a ne Allah zai zo ya shirye mu. Kuma na biyu Malla yana giya mana abubuwa da suka faruwa a rayuwa yanzu a kan social media. Na farko yana yi mana magana a kan matsaloli da yana a kan waya da muna yi amfani da shi. Kuma Malla yana ba mu shawara da cewa bai kamata miji ya dinga duba abu da yana kan waya matarsa ba. Kuma bai kamata a ce mata ma ita ma tana duba abin da yana cikin waya mijinta ba. Na biyu kenan. Na uku Malla ya ce duk kuskurenmu mu yi kokari mu yafe ma juna. Yafe ma juna kafin mu hadu akwai wasu abubuwa da mun riga mun yi a gaba. To Malla yana ba mu shawara cewa bai kamata miji da mata a dinga a duba cikin kuskuren ba abubuwa da sun riga sun faru a gaba. Kuma na biyu mu yi kokari mu san cewa to bayan muka Allah ya hada mu dinga mu yafe ma junanmu. Allah yana ba mu shawara akan abubuwa wanda ya kamata a ce miji yayi a gidan. Na farko Mala ya giya mana cewa farko abin da ya kamata a ce miji yana da shi a gidan shine son matanka kuma son iyalinta. Na farko kenan. Na biyu Allah Ubangiji manzon Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya faɗa cikin hadisi dinsa cewa kudin mai alheri wanda miji zai kashe a rayuwarsa shine wanda ya kashe akan iyalinsa. Mu yi kokari muna kashe ma iyalinmu cikin abubuwa na gida da suna so. Kuma malam yana mana magana abubuwa da ya kamata matan ma suna yi a gida. Na farko mana ya giya mana cewa karka daina mazajinku abin da suna so a gare ku, kar ku daina su. Kuma abin da ya shafe ki da mijinki karkake shi guje. Bala ya ba mu shawara aka. Na biyu shine jara junanmu, cleanliness din nan, mu dinga mu jara gidaje, mu sa kaya mai kyau, mu abubuwa din nan sarka mai kyau, abubuwa na kayan mata wanda ya kamata in mun yi su ta in mijinmu ya zo gida zai gan cewa to matana ta jara dama abinda yan maza suna neman kenan. To bai kamata a ce kai da kai kira kanki mata a gida bakin yin abubuwa din nan. Na karshe mallan yana ba mijin da mata shawara kuma akan gidansu akan yara. Na farko abin da mallan ya ba mu shawara akan cewa abin da zai canja rayuwan yaranmu kuma abin da zai canja abubuwa wanda bin abin da manzon Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya zo ya koya mana. Na farko shine addu'a. Na farko kenan in mun fara addu'a kuma mu yi kokari da sanin cewa muna koya masu tarbiyya na addini. Allah ya sa mu dace lafiya, Allah shirya da mu da hanyar gaskiya. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ohun tí wọ́n bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí, òun náà ni ojúṣe àwọn ọkọ, àwọn aya àti àwọn òbí tọ̀túntòsí wọn nínú ìmú àlàáfíà bá inú ilé àti láti mú kí aáwọ̀ tàbí awuyewuye èyí tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láwọn inú ilé kí ó lè kúrò. Kókó àkọ́kọ́ àbí ìgbésẹ̀ àkọ́kọ́ wọ́n kọ́ pé àkíyèsí wa sí òun náà ni tí ó pa ẹnìkankan wa pọ̀ lọ́kọ àti ní aya. Èyí náà sì ni pé kí ìwọ ọmọlúàbí kó jẹ wá lógún láàrin ọkọ àti ìyàwó, kí a máa fi àpọ́nlé ohun ọ̀wọ̀ fún ara wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni kí aya àti ọkọ, pàápàá jùlọ àwọn aya, kí wọ́n máa fi oorun dun àwọn ọkọ wọn, kí a máa ní ìfọkàntán nínú ara wa, kí a máa yẹra, pàápàá àwọn aya kí wọ́n máa yẹra lórí ṣíṣe ìgbéyàwó kí ni ìró tàbí iṣẹ́ tí àwọn ọkọ wọn ń gbà sí orí fóònù wọn tí a ń pè ní messages. Gbogbo àwọn ọkọ wọ̀nyí ó ṣe pàtàkì fún wa láti mójútó, pàápàá tí a bá ti ní ìfọkàntán nínú ara ẹni láìsálẹ̀ àní, àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí kò ní máa wáyé, àwọn áwọ̀ á sì máa di àfẹ́ẹ̀rí. Ní ọ̀dọ̀ tí àwọn ọkọ wọ́n pe àkíyèsí wọn pé gẹ́gẹ́ ríra wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí olórí ilé, gẹ́gẹ́ ríra wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí olórí ẹbí. Gbogbo ojúṣe tí ó rọ̀ mọ́ ìjẹ́ olórí àti ìjẹ́ aláṣẹ àti alábòjútó nínú ilé òun ni kí wọ́n gbìyànjú láti mójútó dáadáa. Bákan náà kí àwọn ọkùnrin kó má rò pé àwọn ní agbára kan ní èjìká wọn àbí ní ọwọ́ wọn, wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ àwọn aya wọn di àpò ẹ̀ṣẹ́ tí wọ́n máa lù wọ́n lóòrèkóòrè. Kí wọ́n yẹra fún eléyìí pátápátá, nítorí pé ó bu iyì ọmọnìyàn kù, yálà ọkọ tàbí ìyàwó, kí ọkọ máa nà wọ́n. bákan náà kí aya kí ọkùnrin kó má jẹ ahun sí ìyàwó rẹ̀ gbogbo bá ṣe kó gbìyànjú láti rí pé gbogbo tó bá ní ìkápá òun ló fi ń ṣe ìtọ́jú ìkẹ́ àti ìgẹ̀ àwọn aya rẹ̀. Bákan náà èyí ohun tí bá lè jẹ́ àlébù láti ara aya, ọkùnrin ò gbọdọ̀ ní ìkórira tàbí ẹ̀mí ìkùnsínú sí aya rẹ̀, kí ó gbìyànjú láti rí pé òun farada àwọn kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ èyí tí bá ń jáde wá gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀dá èèyàn. Ọkùnrin gbọdọ̀ rí ìyàwó rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ pé kìí ṣe màlẹ́kà, gẹ́gẹ́ bí òun náà kìí ti ṣe wòlíì níwájú Ọlọ́run ọba tí àwọn sọ pé òun náà wá di ẹni mímọ́ tó pegedé jùlọ láàrin ọmọnìyàn. Bákan náà kábàárà ẹni sọ̀rọ̀ lára tó máa mú kí okùn ìṣẹ̀mí ìgbéyàwó kí ó dúró re ni. Gbàbẹ́ èyí ohun tí bá rú wa lójú nípa aya tàbí ọkọ ẹni kí a gbìyànjú láti sọ síta, kájọ sọ nítùbínùbí ká sì yanjú rẹ̀. Ní ọ̀dọ̀ tàwọn aya bákan náà kó máa fi ọ̀wọ̀ fún ọkọ rẹ̀ ní gbogbo ìgbà. Gbogbo àlékún ọkọ ó gbìyànjú láti máa bàṣírí rẹ̀, kó máa rojú ọkọ rẹ̀ síta, kí ó máa ṣe ara rẹ̀ lọ́jọ̀, kí ó máa gbìyànjú láti rí pé òun wà ní ìmọ́tótó. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni inú ilé táwọn ń lò sí, yàrá ní ilé ìdáná àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ, gbogbo wọn pátá ló wà ní mímọ́ tónítóní ní gbogbo ìgbà, kó sì máa ṣe ara rẹ̀ lẹ́wà fún ọkọ rẹ̀. Ọ̀pọ̀ obìnrin ló jẹ́ pé àwọn obìnrin kan bẹ tó jẹ́ pé ìgbà tó bá ń jáde lọ óde, òun náà ni wọ́n máa ń ṣera wọn lẹ́wà, wọ́n á kún gbogbo wọn tọ́jú, wọ́n á tọ́ gbogbo imú, wọ́n á lè wọ aṣọ èyí tó jíire, àmọ́ nígbà tó bá padà sínú ilé òun náà ni wọ́n á di onídọ̀tí. Ọkùnrin fẹ́rù bẹ́ẹ̀. Bákan náà kí àwọn ìyàwó wọ́n ní ìfẹ́ ọkọ wọn dénúdénú. Bí gbọ́mi sí omi òtó tó bá ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú ilé, tá bá ti sọ tá a sì mẹ́nu kúrò ń bẹ̀, káwọn ìyàwó kí wọ́n gbìyànjú àti ṣàmójúkúrò, wọ́n lè ṣàforíjì fún àwọn ọkọ wọn. Wàyí o, ojúṣe tàwọn òbí, yálà àwọn òbí ìyàwó tàbí àwọn òbí ọkọ, ojúṣe wa àkọ́kọ́ òun náà ni pé kí wọ́n máa ṣe àdúrà bó ti tọ́ àti bó ti yẹ ní gbogbo ìgbà fún ìwà lálàáfíà àti ìdàgbàsókè ìgbéyàwó àwọn ọmọ wọn. Bí wọ́n bá ti gbìyànjú tiwọn lórí àti jẹ́ kí ìwà ọmọlúàbí ọmọ wọn ọkùnrin tàbí ọmọ wọn obìnrin tó bá ti kí tí ìwà ọmọlúàbí wọn bá ti jíire, kó tó lè kó wọ́n lọ lé ọkọ tàbí tí wọ́n níyàwó lọ́ọ̀dẹ̀, kí wọ́n fi ọkàn balẹ̀ pé ìgbéyàwó wọn yóò tọ́jọ́ yóò sì gbé àlòpẹ́. Nípa bẹ́ẹ̀ àdúrà òun ló ṣe pàtàkì, kí wọ́n sì máa ṣọ́ra irú ìmọ̀ràn wo, irú àkíyèsí wo ni wọ́n ń pè wọ́n sí. Ọ̀rọ̀ ò gbọ́dọ̀ pọ̀jù látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn òbí lọ́sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ọmọ wọn tí wọ́n ń bẹ ilé ọkọ tàbí tí wọ́n láya lọ́ọ̀dẹ̀, nítorí pé ọ̀pọ̀ irú ń gbà míì a máa já ọbẹ̀. Bí iyọ̀ tá a bá fi sínú ọbẹ̀ bó ṣe máa ń dùn tó, nígbà míì tó bá ti pọ̀jù á ba ọbẹ̀ jẹ́, kò ní ṣe é jẹ. Torí eléyìí kí olúkálùkù wa ká gbìyànjú láti pé àìṣètò eléyìí. Àdúrà wa ni pé ìpàdé ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yìí wọ́n jẹ́ kí ó sì sòrò fẹ́ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Next on the program is an interactive session. The first part of this interactive session is about putting matrimony in perspective, judging from your personal experience. This program is going to be moderated by Muslim Qasim Yokoda Sahib. I request him to proceed.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Again, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Respected chairman, all participants, we welcome us again on behalf of the Rishtanata Department, Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Nigeria. We have panelists on the list who shall be attending to our discussions. And there have been several questions that have been put together that will lead us to what to say or what to advise the participants on this program through our panelists. But before we move on, I have the privilege to introduce the participants in this first part of discussion. The respected Dr. Y.A. Habib from either Abuja or Lokoja. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi, Dr. Sir. Dr. Y.A. Habib, former Naib Amir sir. Okay, Okay, let's proceed. As he joins us, we introduce him, inshallah. Please, the admin should please continue to help us check. As soon as he joins us, let us know. The principal sir, Dabatul Bashirin, Ilaru, Mobi Abnazir, Hawadasa, welcome to this. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dr. Abdul Hassan Bello, University of Uyo. Dr. Sir, assalamu alaikum. Dr. Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Majisa. Okay, please, if he's muted, let him be. If he's muted, let him be unmuted, and let us know as soon as he joins us. Then Okara Mamkaharu Nomi already has already given us some beautiful dish this morning. Please say salam to the house again.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah, welcome. Magistrate Salama Matepo Saiba. Assalamu alaikum ma.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam, jazakumullah, welcome ma. Dr. Mrs. Basirat Diko, Federal University of Federal University. What is the name of this? Okay, Federal University. Ekiti. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, jazakumullah khairan. As soon as we have our other panelists, Dr. Waya Abibzab and Dr. Magid Hassan Belusa, we will be introducing them. Jazakumullah khairan. And before we proceed to the questions that we already have in the pool, Principal Sir, in 2 minutes, from your experience, how can we achieve harmony in marriage? From your own personal experience. Exactly.
Human life is a continuous experience. I would say, in the light of what we have learned or listened from the life of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as well as the same orders of Islam, I would say the first and integral part in achieving harmony or a good atmosphere in a relation of husband and wife is prayers. One is prayer, number two is Qawl Sadiq. You might have seen that we Ahmadis, when we conduct nikah, there are some verses of Holy Quran that we always recite at the khutbah of nikah. Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught this khutbah to Sahaba Ridwanullah alayhim. This hadith is recorded in Tirmidhi that one day Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us khutbah nikah. He did not there is khutbatul hata, but later in Islamic Sharia it became famous with the name of khutbatul nikah. In that khutbatul nikah, we portray many points, but the integral point is righteousness. Then Qawl Sadiq, the profound truth. So these 3 points, if we look back in our matrimonial homes, whenever you will see that there is a distrust or the house is on the edge of being broken, you will find one or two of these 3 things are missing. Either the couples are not prayerful, or they are not righteous up to the extent that they should be, or number 3, they are hiding something. Wife hides from husband or husband hides from wife. So these are the 3 things. If we are able to put them in our life as priority, I think we can get a very harmonious atmosphere in our homes.
Jazakallah, Principal Sir. I come to Magistrate Mateko Saiba. Principal Sir has highlighted 3 points to achieve harmony in marriages. He said prayers, Qalu Sadid, right words, that is establishing excellent communication between couples, and righteousness, which is fear of Allah the Almighty. As it appeared in Missionary Olomi's earlier lecture, if at a point either of the couple pretended that he or she is having these 3 things, and after the marriage, then we start to see otherwise. If the husband is stubborn or the wife is stubborn, that is lacking these 3 basic things, what do we do, Magistrate Saiba?
Assalamu alaikum
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.
In marriage, what is important has been said, those items. But when one of the couple is found wanting of this, the first and major thing the wife is supposed to do is to pray. That's the first thing. Because reporting to family, reporting to any other person could bring complicate issues at first. But the best is to go to God, pray to God. This is, you thought this is the man, you thought it is like this, but this is what I'm saying in you. God can touch his mind to have a change of attitude. But if at the end of the day, you might find that everything all said and done, the man is not changing, then you can report to the Rishtanata officer in charge of that area, instead of reporting to family. Because what we have seen in the past is that this family complicates issues. What do you expect? And that's the type of man he is. You have to manage him. You have to this. Or what do you expect? That's the type of the man. Like I had somebody said marriage is such a control. It is when you there, whatever you do there, you accept. At times, it will not work like that. So the best thing for that man is to start with prayer. For this one said that done everything he achieved. Now she has seen that the man is not changing, then can report to Rishtanata. Before family, please. That's my opinion.
We want to take a few minutes to carry our people at home and home, including of us who might not be able to follow the details of English language, both in Hausa and Yoruba. But for the Missionary Olomi, Magistrate Saiba has recommended that if either of the couple is stubborn, after all prayers, she recommended going to the Rishtanata department. But some of our listeners may be more knowledgeable than we here. Of course, most of them we do. They might have read Quran that wali should be carried along according to the Holy Quran. Wali of the wife who handed over the lady to the husband. Are we not having conflict of information here? Wali as a Rishtanata department, just remove whatever the confusion that may occur.
We should not be confused if we are Ahmadis. Ahmadis understood the fact, knows that Rishtanata are in charge of marriages. Although in the Quran, if a woman or one of the couples is behaving, it is important for the couple, after informing those that are supposed to involve, to also try to make the digital contact with the parents. Quran says, and if you really want a reconciliation, being of someone from the family of the wife and someone from the family of the husband if you want reconciliation. The purpose of bringing these people out is for them to know what their children is doing. So that if tomorrow it gets to the issue of divorcing each other, they will know that something has been on ground. That is the reason why Allah the Almighty wants us to involve those people when one of the couples is not yielding to the advice of others.
I would say that Muhammad is doing the work of moderator in between the two families.
Exactly, that is arbitrator. You see, the arbitrator in Islam, especially in Rishtanata in Ahmadiyya, they are spiritual arbitrators. Those members of the family may use their own personal interests in judging the issue. But here we have people who are spiritual arbitrators, who are neutral, with fear of Allah. They will attend to the issue with fear of Allah, and I know that Allah will mercy will definitely help them.
The level of Hausa, please carry out for companies.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sashen na biyu da muke shi ne tambaya. Na farko an taba principal na jami'ar Ahmadiyya cewa yaya ne za mu samu cin gaba da lafiya cikin aure. Kuma principal na jami'ar Ahmadiyya ya ba mu sanar da na farko ya ce addu'a ne zai rike aure. Na biyu shi ne magana mai alheri. Kuma na uku shi ne yin gaskiya da kuma jin tsoron Allah. Kuma tambaya na biyu aka tambaya magistrate Saiba akan cewa in mijin ne yana da masala ko matan ne yana da masala ya za a yi da wannan ne. Shi magistrate mata gina mana cewa na farko shi ne in mijin ne matan ya sa al'amuran cikin addu'a. In kuma matan ne tana da masala mijin abin na farko da zai yi shi ne ya sa abin nan cikin addu'a. Baya wannan sai ya in na san cewa abin bai canja ba, rayuwa bai canja ba, sai ya Rishtanata. Dama Rishtanata cikin kungiyar jama'a Ahmadiyya ne suke, kuma an zazzaga da su ne a kan matsaloli da ana samu cikin aure. Amma bayan majalisar ta ce a gaya ma Rishtanata, to wadda ɗinmu missionar Qasim ya ma malam Abdulbahar Olomi tambaya cewa to mai aikin wali tunda abin da Alƙur'ani ya faɗa mana shi ne wali kafin a yi aure daga wajen wajen a kawo wali nasu, kuma daga wajen matan a kawo wali nasu. To shin wali yanzu cikin kungiyar masu da aiki da suna yi, amma Hamsa da missionar Olomi ya bada shi ne dama wali din za a iya sai a kan zuciya cewa to ai wannan damu ne ba za a yi a wani bi ba za a gaskiya ba. Amma Rishtanata da aka taso da su cikin jama'a masu jin tsoron Allah ne, kuma su wanda za su hada gaskiya a ko'ina. Shi ne tambaya guda biyu da amsa wanda aka bada. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Jazakallahu khairan. Ẹ̀yin ara wa ní ohun tí a kọ́ gbé síwájú àwọn àti wọ́n bá bọ́ adá sí ọ̀rọ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ tí a wà yìí. Òun náà ní pé òun náà ní ìrírí wọn ló lè júwe bí a ṣe lè rí àlàáfíà láàrin ọkọ àti ìyàwó. Bí ó tẹ̀lé pé a ti gbọ́ ìwàásù èyí tí ó nílẹ̀ dáadáa, àmọ́ síbẹ̀ wọ́n ní a tún lè fi kún un. Ó tí ọ̀gá àgbà ilé ẹ̀kọ́ àwọn àfáà wa ní ìlà àrùn tí wọ́n sọ kókó mẹ́ta òun náà lọ́wọ́ ní mọ́ kókó àkọ́kọ́ ní ká máa ṣàdúrà wọ́n ní àdúrà ló lè ṣe ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì òun náà ní ká máa bára wa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́nà tó rẹwà dáadáa láàrin ọkọ àti ìyàwó ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta òun náà ní tí Kùránì dúnú mọ́ nígbà tí wọ́n gbọ́ ìwàásù ìgbéyàwó eléyìí náà sì ní ìpayọ̀ náà wọ́n ní bí àwòrán máa fi nǹkan kan pamọ́ fúnra wa tí mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yẹn bá wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ìgbéyàwó yóò lálàáfíà lórí eléyìí òun náà ní akọ́ béèrè síwájú sí pé bí a bá rí ẹni tí ó dímọ́ yálà ọkùnrin àbúrò òun náà ló dímọ́ kò ní mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta yìí lọ́wọ́ ó lè ṣàdúrà nínú rárá ní sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ jáde lẹ́nu bí yóò fi ra ẹ̀rọ tẹ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá yọ náà lẹ́yìn ìgbéyàwó tí onítọ̀ wọn ti ya olórí tuntun yálà ọkọ lórí olórí kúkú ni ìyàwó lórí olórí kúkú ni kí la lè ṣe ìdáhùn àwọn màmá wa òun náà ní pé ká máa ṣàdúrà kí ẹ̀dùn tó bá wà ní ipò ẹni tára ní láàrin àwọn méjèèjì kó máa ṣàdúrà bá jọpọ̀ bá níyàwó ọlọ́run ó fọwọ́ tọ́ ẹni kejì rẹ̀ lọ́kàn tó bá wá ṣàdúrà títí tí ọ̀rọ̀ òun tó dàbẹ̀ ẹni tó kò fẹ́ lójútùú kí nígbà àdúrà tí ọlọ́run sún síwájú fún kí onítọ̀hún kí ó lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ táàbù ní Rishtanata àwọn sọ kó máa lọ fẹjọ́ sùn àwọn òbí nítorí pé olúkálùkù onígàárí òun náà ní ọ̀sọ̀ pé tòun kan ọlọ́run tẹ̀lé wa kan tí gàárí bá dùn àwọn sọ kó kan ní pàbẹ́ gàárí olúkálùkù lọ́rọ̀ wa ó máa ń dáa ni nípa bẹ́ẹ̀ olúkálùkù máa lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ ara rẹ̀ èyí la wá padà sí ọ̀dọ̀ àfọwà pé àfọwà lórí pẹ́tọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n wà lé àárín wọn tí wọ́n mọ̀ ju àwọn àwà ní àárín àwọn kan Kùránì ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìbéèrè àwọn kan Kùránì jẹ́ àyè kan pé ẹbí là ń kọ́ máa ń fọ̀rọ̀ náà bí wàhálà bá dé láàrin ọkọ àti ìyàwó kí ló dé àgbà ẹbí láyè kí wọ́n mọ́ dá sí kótó ìrọ̀rọ̀ Rishtanata àpapọ̀ tí àwọn sọ náà ni pé ìjọba ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ètò Rishtanata láti bá ìdí alágàta láàrin ìtọ̀kútòsì lẹ́bí ọ̀tún àtẹ̀bí òsì àtọkọ àti ìyàwó olúkálùkù lè mọ kí ni ojúṣe wọn kí Ọlọ́run kó ṣe ní ìrọ̀rùn fẹ́ẹ́ nìkan we thank our parents for this. The Lord Almighty continue to bless every one of us. Do we have the two doctors online now? Dr. Abiy and Dr. Amadou Asambelo. That's okay. Let's proceed. Our mama, Dr. Mrs. Basila Diko, welcome again. We wish to know how far can counseling go in the issue of matrimonial to achieving matrimonial harmony. We know that professional in this line. Counseling, how can it assist? And if counseling is not assist, is not achieving the purpose for which we counsel the couple for, what do we do? Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Mrs. Diko. Okay, please get our muted, please. Okay, when she joins us again, she will give us a response. Even though I did not introduce her initially, yes, ma'am. Beyond you, what is the
Alhamdulillah. Counseling is we normally have a better counseling for couples. That is, we call who individuals can be open, not in that environment, although they are not. We guide them on text because at times you have a situation. Mommy, sorry, that It's a current.
The audio is making the communication to be disjointed. The audio isn't clear enough now. The audio is not clear enough now. Maybe the network. Maybe you can.
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, your communication with us is not clear. Okay, if it is possible, you can kindly send us your notes in the chat room so that we'll be able to enjoy your thoughts.
It's alright.
There is no corner.
It's alright. It's alright.
Okay, there is no corner. Please, Adin, please help us be on the water for our thoughts. We have in our midst, even though she's part of the second segment of this interview, this important question is we should not allow it to go like that. We have Dr. Moshuda Bello among us. She's also a professional in this area of counseling because of her calling. Yeah, okay, that's Dr. Moshuda Bello. Bello Abodi, sorry for that. You're welcome now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, but my question, can they let us know how can we achieve maternal harmony through counseling? And if we are not achieving it, what else can we do through counseling?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, counseling essentially is a treatment or intervention method of addressing different issues, particularly conflicts. In this case, we're talking about marital issues or conflicts. The aim of the counseling and the intention is to explore for possible triggers or reasons why we have some of these issues present or emanating in marriage. So it's like a detective work. And like our former father was saying, the counseling is done at different stages of this journey called marriage. There are forms that are done before the two couples or individuals come together as married couple, that is pre-marital counseling. And we have another form that is post-marital counseling. So it helps by going to dig in properly into the possible causes or reasons why we are having these unpleasant issues that is at the bread of breaking the family or causing various harms to the family and other significant members of the family. So, after identifying the possible triggers or possible reasons, there are different scientific models, methods of working through these issues. And there are different sessions planned for it. So at different stages, different issues will come up and be addressed. And it's not usually a one-way directional thing. All the individuals involved will be part of it. And they're able to speak out. They're able to ventilate their mind, such that other people that needed to be part of it may be invited. And it is not usually a one-session thing. There are different forms of it. But the summary of it is to address the possible reasons or triggers or issues that are hidden. And after addressing it, there are different methods of working through it, such that we are able to reach a healthy, meaningful point where they are now living amicably. And it's a lot of things that are involved.
I allow Outside please in 1 minute to question.
yaya ne shawara zai taimako cikin aure. To da ta fara babu tambaya kan yadda shawara zai taimako network din nan ba ma jira abin da tana faɗa amma an ce tsaro za shi a wasu ka tura mana. Amma kan wannan tambaya da aka tambaye Dr. Mashuda Bello cewa yaya ne shawara zai mana aiki cikin matsalolin nan da ana samun cikin aure. Ita ta gaya mana cewa hanya biyu ne shawara zai bamu zai yi taimako cikin aure nan. Na farkon mijin da matan kafin a daure su a san cewa an yi musu shawara kafin a daure aure. Kuma bayan aure har abin su aka nan bayan suka hada su suka yi aure a yi kokari a san cewa ana kira su kuma ana nuna masu hanyoyi wanda zai iya ya kawo masu matsala da zai iya kawo masu matsala. To cikin hanya biyu nan ne shawara zai masu amfani. Allah ya nuna mana kuma ya shirya da mu.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Ìbéèrè tí a béèrè tí wọ́n ṣe lọ́wọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ sí ó náà ní pé ipa wo ó náà ní ìtọ́ni lórí èrò ẹ̀dá bá a ṣe ń ronú ọ̀nà wo ó náà ní ó lè gbà mú ojútùú wá sí ohun tí wọ́n ń ṣe láàrin lọ́kọláya, ìgbaninímọ̀ràn látọwọ́ àwọn tí wọ́n kọ́ṣẹ́ mọṣẹ́ nípa rẹ̀ nípa ti olólùgbò dé. Akọ̀ọ̀má dípò àmá ẹ̀rọ alátagbọ̀jẹ̀ kágbọ́ra wádága. Kọ́nà àmá tí wọ́n wà pẹ̀lú wa níbi tí wọ́n jẹ́ oníṣègùn òyìnbó ní ti ìlànà tí a ṣàlàyé ni wọ́n jẹ́ kí a mọ̀ pé tó Dr. Mashuda Bello Abuji wọ́n sọ fún wa pé méjì ni òyìnbó ṣe títì lápàtó lápàsì. Òun náà ni ọ̀rọ̀ ìgbaninímọ̀ràn tó bá ti di tọ̀rọ̀ lọ́pọ̀ láyà dé kí wọ́n tó fẹ́ra wọn sílé, lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ra wọn sílé. Èyí tí wọ́n lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ra wọn sílé yẹn gan ni a kọ iṣẹ́ nínú ẹ̀, nítorí pé ìgbà yẹn ni aáwọ̀ sábà máa ń wáyé. Bí àwọ̀ bá wáyé tó bá kẹ́jọ́ lọ bá wọn, kí ni tó fà á? Àwọn máa ṣiṣẹ́ ọ̀tẹlẹ̀múyẹ́ ní ti èrò báwo lè dá sí ronú, kí ni ó lè máa fà á, kí ló lè máa fà àwọn awuyewuye wọ̀nyẹn. Wọ́n á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní tọpinpin, wọ́n á ṣiṣẹ́ ìtọpinpin kí ló fà á, ọ̀nà kí sì ni a fi lè dènà nǹkan tó ń fà á yẹn, torí pé tàbá mú àwọn nǹkan tó ń fà á kúrò, wàhálà yẹn kò ní kúrò níbẹ̀. Wọ́n sì ní kí wá ṣe ẹ̀kan gbòó, òun náà ni àwọn ìmójútó yẹn tàbí ìtọ́jú àìlera yẹn, iṣẹ́ ẹ̀kan náà máa kúrò. Wọ́n máa lo egbògi sí egbògi ní ti ìbásọ̀rọ̀ ìfúnilẹ́mọ̀ràn, a máa lò sí díẹ̀ nǹkan lọ́wọ́ kí o máa wá ojútùú sí àwọn ìṣòro náà. Jazakumullahu khairan. I think we now have Dr. Mashuda Bello and Dr. Waya Bello online. We let us they were not informed before of this of the link to this program. So the respected Anissa has guided us for this. Jazakumullahu khairan, Anissa. We have them online, and as soon as we are through with other discussion, inshallah, we get back to them. Please, Amin, you should please check if you are ready to us. Jazakumullahu khairan. Now we have series of questions with us. What do we do about neglected wives? The husband did not divorce, but then they are neglected. If Dr. Mashuda Bello is already with us, Dr. Sir, Dr. Sir, assalamu alaikum. Please, you should be unmuted. Or if Dr. Waya is already also with us, can we have his thoughts on this important question? The question is, some husbands or some men are not proving themselves to be husbands. They have neglected their wives and they are not divorcing them either. What do we do on this? Please unmute Dr. Madibiru. It's already with us. The doctor unmute yourself, sir.
He needs to unmute himself. He's muted there.
Okay, while we wait for most of the time, while we wait for Dr. Madibiru to unmute himself, Principal sir, the question, some men are neglecting their wives. How do we cope with this situation?
So, in this situation, I think we should go back to the guidance provided by the Holy Quran. Holy Quran particularly discusses about the neglected wives by saying that men, under no circumstance, should leave their wives unwanted. That they are hanging in between the two situations. They are neither here nor there. They are not in divorced. They are not.
We join you now. Please don't mute yourself, please. Yeah.
So I think if we are practicing Muslims, so Quran's guidance is very clear. Either we should give her freedom to go and do another matchmaking and go into another matrimonial tie, or we should bring her back and reform ourselves and be society.
Welcome to this important meeting. And we're very sorry for the gap in communication. For joining us. The question we are faced with, the principal have shed some light on to, is that some men are neglecting their wives. They are not proving the responsibility, they are not proving their mettle as husbands. Now, principal have said we should go to the Holy Quran, which all of us must have known. We should not leave them as something neglected. We either divorce them or we keep them as real wives to us. What if some men are still proving stubborn? What can we do? Because we are in the midst of human beings, of us are human beings, and situations can be expected, anything should be expected. If some men are still proving stubborn, what do we do, sir? So, okay. The second part, principal sir. What do we do if some men are still proving stubborn? They don't want to divorce. What can the woman do?
I think the woman should contact the Islamic Jamaat. Like we have Al-Qaza in each country, we have Rishtanata in India also. So the woman should, with the help of the Secretariat of Jamaat President, write to Al-Qaza. Then Al-Qaza is going to summon the two parties. They have their, set rules and regulations. First, they will call for Tahkim, come from man's side, come from woman's side, and they sit down to, first of all, reform what has gone, under breach. Then after that, if the people are adamant, then they will go for the separation, which Qazi can do in Islam Sharia and Islamic Jamaat is there for helping the parties, and she just do the first nikah. After that, she can be treated as a divorced wife.
Before I leave you, sir, you mentioned that the other time when we were mentioning crisis-solving issues, we refer to the Rishtanata. Some of the members may be confused here. What is the relationship between Rishtanata, the Department of Jamaat, and Al-Qadr? These are of these matrimonial issues?
Rishtanata's work majorly is before the nikah is conducted. The primary counseling between husband-to-be and wife-to-be, to invite them, to sit with them, to counsel them, to tell them what is good and what is wrong, for a better discussion and to create an atmosphere of mutual understanding and respect. So, Rishtanata's work majorly is before the conduction of nikah. Then after the conduction of nikah, yes, Rishtanata can come in, because Islamic community is there at all levels, at local level, and central level, and national level. So, Rishtanata, with the help of the Islamic community, will try, because Jamaat-e-Ahmadiyya believes that talaq should be taken as the last resort. So, Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reported to have said, Allah subhanahu in the life that the most loathsome in the sight of Allah the Almighty in all lawful things is talaq. So Jamaat always tries that we should not reach to the point of no return. We should reform ourselves, we should try to get in touch with the Rishtanata department, with the Islamic community, with the BIA in charge, with the headquarters. Then after that, Darul Qaza will take it as the last resort to separate between man and woman. So Rishtanata is very, very much, a stakeholder in the process. But the major work for Rishtanata is before the nikah. After the nikah, although we can seek help from Rishtanata department, but the major work will be by the Islamic communities at all levels and then Darul Qaza.
Jazakallahu khairan. Ẹ̀yin ara wa ní ìwé ilé. Ìbéèrè tí a lẹ̀ síta, wọn náà lè tó wá láti ọ̀kan lọ́dọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa wípé bí àwọn ọkọ kan àbáwọn ọkùnrin kan tó bá ń pa ìyàwó wọn tì, kí ni a lè ṣe, kí ni obìnrin lè ṣe? Wọ́n sì dá wa lóhùn pé àṣẹ Al-Qur'ani ìlú ẹ̀ka tẹ̀lé táwọn gbọ́dọ̀ pa obìnrin tì bí aṣọ àkísà, èèwọ̀ ni a ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Àmọ́ tó wá fi ìbéèrè kan lé pé bí àṣẹ Al-Qur'ani ṣe wà nílẹ̀ tó, ó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ tọ́kùnrin táwọn sì yá àwọn ọkùnrin kan tó ń ṣorí gbogbo wọn fẹ́ kọ obìnrin bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ̀ wọ́n ti fẹ́ fún un mọ́ra gẹ́gẹ́ bí aya rere lọ́ọ̀dẹ̀ wọn. Kí ni obìnrin lè ṣe? Ohun tí wọ́n sọ fún wa ni pé kí obìnrin bẹ́ẹ̀ kí ó gba ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn tí a ìgbìmọ̀ tá a mọ̀ sí Darul Qaza, kó gba ọ̀dọ̀ wọn lọ láti lọ wá ojútùú sí ohun tí ó ń dà láàmú. Àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ táwọn lè Darul Qaza, wọn náà ni àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ ìgbẹ́jọ́ tí wọ́n sì wá ojútùú sí aáwọ̀ ní abẹ́lé nínú ìjọ wa, tí kìí ṣe tó jẹ mọ́ kéèyàn dára ìpànìyàn tàbí kónítọ̀ ń ṣẹ̀ sí òfin ìjọba. Ẹ bá ti ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ òfin ìjọba, ẹ̀rọ kì í máa dá sí. Mọ̀ bá jẹ́ láàrin ọmọ ìjọ méjì, ọkọ àti ìyàwó ẹ̀gbọ́n àtàbúrò bàbá àtọmọ, ìgbà àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ yìí wọ́n lè máa dá sí. Àmọ́ tó bá dojú nígbà tá a kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́gbàá dárúkọ Rishtanata, kí ni ìyàtọ̀ àti ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ tó wà láàrin wọn? Wọ́n jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé ètò Rishtanata ní ìpìlẹ̀ ó wà fún kí a tó di ọkọ àtaya, gbogbo akitiyan láti di ọkọ rere àti ìyàwó rere fúnra wa. Bí a bá tó wá fẹ́ ara wa tán, Rishtanata tó lè wá kẹjọ bá wọn, kọ́ bá wa sọ́sọ́ tó kọ́ bá wa sọ́sọ́ sí, àti àwọn Islamic committee náà kọ́ bá wọn dúdú sí láti jọmọ́ sákìtì àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Àmọ́ tó bá di pé tọ̀ àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ tọ̀tún Rishtanata Islamic committee wọn láǹfààní láti yanjú ẹ̀ mọ́, ìkíní kejì náà létí kọ̀ náà ni ọ̀nà àwọn Darul Qaza òun náà ni wọ́n fẹ́ kọ́ra wọn lẹ́nu. Àmọ́ àwọn olóyè tó jẹ́ ìkànnì ìgbìmọ̀ tí a máa lọ kẹjọ bá, nítorí pé ìjọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí súnà Ànábì àgbàgbọ́ sallallahu alaihi wasallam àgbàgbọ́ pé àtọ́lá ohun tó yẹ kí a fi ogun rẹ̀ pamọ́ síbi nǹkan tó kó ogun rẹ̀ pamọ́ síbi tó jìnà rere. Tàmọ́ tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá di pé a fẹ́ lọ tú tó jẹ́ pé ìrìn àjò ṣe débẹ̀ kí ohun lè wá lára díẹ̀ débi pé ká má fà fẹ́ rí tú ká lè fi ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ àlàáfíà. Bàbá
tambaya da wani ya tura yanzu shine akwai wasu da ba su saki matarsu ba su saki aure ba, amma an dai an aike su a waje ne ba a talaki tsakanin su, cewa mai addini musulunci ya fara a wannan ne. Na farko malam a principal na jami'ar Ahmadiyya yana gina mana cewa wannan abun addini bai yarda da shi ba cewa dai ake sun matan mu jale su ba ma cin da su ba ma yi musu salama mu dai aje su a gefe ne cewa na farko addini bai yarda da wannan ba in za a saki juna ne ko a saki juna amma ana cikin gidanka ba ka ce da su ba ka yi musu sallama ba a komai tsakanin su ba na ya gaya mana cewa addini bai yarda da wannan ba kuma aka gaya mana cewa ko in abin ya zama aka ya za a yi ne ba na ya gaya mana cewa to babban shi da yana cikin Rishtanata da Darul Qada aikin Rishtanata shi ne kafin aure aikin Qada shi ne bayan an riga an daure su to matan nan abin da za ka yi shi ne za ta je ta samu sun Darul Qada shi ne za su kira su yi masu magana to ɗan ba za su iya su shirya ba to sai a bi maganan alƙur'ani da maganan manzon Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam da ya ce a sabai juna amma duka mu ne muka san abin da Allah ya faɗa akan at-talaq sai juna cewa abin da shi Allah fata baya so ne kuma cikin jama'ar Ahmadiyya sun dara faɗa nan anya da su suna bin shi ne anya na karshe sai abin ya kai karshe in an yi musu tambaya an yi musu ta'adini tsakanin su an gan cewa ba za a iya a zona lafiya tare da juna ba to sai a sake juna shine wanda shine abin da addinin musulunci ya zo ya koya mana amma ba a aiki mata a gefe cewa ba a sake ta ba kuma ba a ce da ita ba a yi mata gaisuwa ba a yi komi da ita aka daidai ka jade ta a daidai bai yarda da wannan ba.
I guess we have Dr. Abadila Samido online now. Is it the doctor? Or Dr. Waya Bisa? Please, if you are online, kindly unmute yourself. Yeah, we have several questions on our table. And these questions, inshallah, will take us through all what our minds are yearning for. These questions were sent to Office of Rishtanata within 2 weeks when the information was out, if I'm quite right. Several questions have been sent in, and we like to take them one after the other now. They are very important questions. In fact, if we are able to finish with them, we may not need even to ask extra questions from home. So, I start with, as we continue, we also bring in some other members of parliament because we will not be able to break it into two again. So we will continue to introduce them as we have them, inshallah. Dr. Rashida Bello Saiba. Transfer of aggression, either from place of work, from markets, from anywhere, from any quarter, can be a trigger, like you emphasized the other time. There will be some triggers into the crisis. Transfer of aggression may be a kind of trigger into matrimonial crisis. How can we manage this in matrimonial homes?
That's a very good question. And it's a key aspect of issues surrounding marital conflict. Transfer of aggression. The first thing is, we needed to know what type of aggression is being transferred. In some cases, some aggressions are actually provoked. In other instances, the aggressions are unprovoked. So, if the aggression is provoked, we may just have to ensure that we calm down the person and try to sort out what is bringing that aggression. Because it is normal when something is provoking an aggression that there should be a reaction. It's just that it should not be out of hand. But often, that question most likely is talking about unprovoked aggression. Unprovoked aggression is a form of behavior. And that behavior is not LD. And that's why they're asking how do we handle it. I think that's
Yes, ma'am.
So, the first thing is for us to know that when we have aggression, not everybody may have the skill or what it takes to handle it. So the first thing is to calm down. We need to calm down. We need to make the person that is angry or aggressive at that time to feel secure, so that it is not worsened or escalated. Then we try to listen to what the person has to say, be it rational to us or not. We try to listen to what the person has to say. And we should not be judgmental at any point in time when the person is giving whatever reason for that aggression. While listening to that, we need to have a lot of patience. And at the same time, we need to ensure that we're not in an enclosed place or enclosed space. As an animal, that is a human being, we should be able to multitask. So by the time we are observing at the initial stage, we may need to give instructions to other people around, maybe to ensure that all doors are open, the gates are open and all that, while everybody will be aside. It's not all aggression that is suicidal or imminent, that okay, war is letting loose and all that. So while we are listening to the person, we should try to understand the reason behind that aggression. And at the same time, we are trying to reassure the person that we will look into it. We don't give empty promises. We will look into this. And by the time that person is calmer, or we feel relatively things are going to have gone down, then we seek for professional help.
Inú bíbí ni ọ̀bẹ̀ ọlọ́wẹ̀ tó tí ìbínú ń dá sílẹ̀ inú ilé ọkọ̀ ọ̀yọ́. Wọ́n ní ìbínú nígbà míì, ó lè jẹ́ ẹnìkan ló dálẹ̀ ló fa ìbínú tá a fi ń ti ìbínú sí àkàkà ẹlòmíì. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni àwọn ìbínú míì wà nígbà tẹ́lẹ̀kan bá bínú tó tí ìbínú rúgbò lójú. Bínú wà tẹ́ kó fúnra ẹ̀ nípa ara rẹ̀ bínú. Irú eléyìí ìwà àwọn ìwà kan tó jẹ mọ́ ọmọnìyàn tí ó sì lè fa àkóbá tàbí ìpalára ni. Àmọ́ èyí ohun tí bá lè jẹ́ ìbínú, ẹni tó ń bínú a gbọ́dọ̀ wá gbogbo ọ̀nà, yálà ọkọ tàbí ìyàwó ó gbọ́dọ̀ wá gbogbo ọ̀nà láti jẹ́ kí ó ṣiṣẹ́ lórí ẹni tí ń bínú yẹn kí ara rẹ̀ lélẹ̀, kára rẹ̀ balẹ̀. Pàápàá tó bá lọ jẹ́ ìbínú pé ẹnìkan nìkan ọkọ̀ nílé bá rẹ̀ bínú tàbí ìyàwó ní bára rẹ̀ bínú tí ń bínú síra ẹ̀, kò sí nǹkan tí ó lè ṣẹlẹ̀. Tó bá wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀, kí ẹni tí ń bínú yẹn ká gbìyànjú láti fún un ní sùúrù ní gbogbo ọ̀nà. Ká jẹ́ kọ́kọ́ jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé n tó ń sọ ó bá làákàyè bí ò tẹ̀ bá làákàyè lọ́dọ̀ tí wa. Nígbà tá a bá tẹ́ sí n tó ń sọ ó bá làákàyè lọ. Ká kọ́kọ́ lọ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ ibi tó fẹ́ ká ṣe kájọ ti rẹ̀ ká ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́pẹ̀lẹ́ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Káwọn àwọn tó lè bá sọ̀rọ̀. Ká sì rí pé tó bá jẹ́ ìbínú tó ti fẹ́ di kó mú ìpalára wá ni. Ká gbìyànjú láti rí pé ibi tá a wà, ibi tá a lè láǹfààní láti sá fún ìpalára tàbí ìjàmbá ni. Tó nípa bẹ́ẹ̀, inú bíbí ohun tí ó ṣe é ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí ni, àmẹ́ni tí ó ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí òun náà gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ onísùúrù. Ẹ̀ tí ó ṣiṣẹ́ lé oníbínú lórí gbogbo fúnra ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ẹni tí ń bínú, ó gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ onínú fùfù. Tó nípa bẹ́ẹ̀, ohun tí ìbéèrè tó ṣe pàtàkì ni tá a sì gbọ́dọ̀ mójútó dáadáa. Ìṣẹ́ ìsà.
Wani magana da ana yin wani magana da aka yi shi ne wani halin fushi cewa yane wannan halin za mu biya kokarin da aka yi kuma mu gyara. Na farko an ce halin fushin nan zai iya ya kasance wani mai ya dashi daga waje, kila wurin aiki shi ne ba kawo fushin gida, ko mai yin fushin ma shi daidai da yana jin fushin da kansa. Zai iya ya kasance mata yana jin fushin ko yin, to aka ba mu amsa cewa a kan wannan hali na farko in matar da yana jin fushin mijin zai kwanta da hankali sare yi abin da matar tsara zuwa fada. In kuma mijin ne yana da halin fushin nan saboda abubuwa wanda fushin nan yana kawowa a gida, mijin shi ma zai kwanta da hankali sare yi abin da matar zai fada. Bayan haka sai mu bi shi da addu'a kuma mu san yadda za mu gyara halin nan, saboda halin nan yana cikin abubuwa da suna kawo matsaloli a gida. Allah ya sa mu dace lafiya kuma Allah shi ya ga.
Jazakallahu khairan. Dr. Waye Abisa, former Naibu Abisa, whom we have here online. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi sir. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. Yeah, Jazakallahu khairan. Welcome to this program. Once again, we are very sorry for the gambling communication. We have a question for you, sir. A couple that loves each other very well. A couple loves each other very well, but the husband still wants to take another wife. Can that not cause disharmony? Is that not going to cause disharmony in the marriage? Does that answer?
Yeah, the husband is what?
The husband and the wife, they love each other so well, but the husband still insists to take in another wife. Is that not going to lead to marriage disharmony?
Okay. A very interesting question of coexistence is what has been first, and the wife law is that must be there is you may be in love. Any slight thing that comes in actually going to cause a couple, for example, they went for holidays. From the journey, was having an affair, another lady. It's love. What we need to derive from this is that when you have love and then Allah, you then have the knowledge of Islam, but must also understand that marrying more than one has been given. It's not compulsory, It's not that we must become wife or third. A lady who is in love and who was permission has been granted by her leads to this. But the way the having and not, and you do not take the wife at home into confidence. You do not let her understand what is happening. You do not let her even know your reason for trying to go for second wife or third or fourth. And this thing just comes as a shock. Some will wait until maybe a day or two that you want to do the car experience somehow here. When the wife came in, so the husband was dressing up. Are you going for an event? Yeah, okay. There's no way that crisis. The blood pressure of this could handle herself properly. Otherwise, they will.
Respected Dr. Sir, if I have gotten him clearly, he said love should also be combined with knowledge in Islam. Love should be combined with knowledge in Islam. If the wife is in love and the husband reciprocates, that does not mean what Islam permits. And the husband wants to make use of it, it should be understood by the wife. That does not mean the husband will not love her again or the love will diminish. This should be known to the wife, even though it is not compulsory. It is not a do or die affair that Allah says you must with no. Taking more than one wife isn't compulsory in Islam, but it is permitted. Every wife, he said, every wife should understand this. But then, others should also let our wife, a loving wife or lovely wife, understand him. He should not hide anything from her, so that it will be maybe next tomorrow or tomorrow she will be going for the announcement of the second dinner. Then the wife, who is at home supposed to be the first person to know, should now start to know that where are you going? You have an event outside? No, it shouldn't be. The wife should always be carrying along, and it should be explained to her why she will need the husband will be going for another marriage. So this should be understood, and this is what Dr. Sam has guided us, that this is what Islam requires. Everybody should be on the same page, but then that one should understand that it is permitted in Islam. Then the other should let her reason or understand the reason why he will be going for the second marriage. Jazakallahu khairan, sir. Please.
matarsa soyayya da yana a cikin su ya sa ne in mutum yana so ya kara aure ana samun masana. Na farko Dr. Habibu Aleke Habibu YA Habibu ya yi mana magana cewa in akwai soyayya tsakanin su, akwai so tsakanin su, ko a san cewa son din nan bai tsaya a nashi ba, son din nan yana yi tafiya ne da abin da addinin musulunci ya koya mana. Na farko akwai abubuwa da addini ya koya mana batun karan aure. Kana so ka kara na biyu, kana so ka kara na uku ne, akwai tarbiyya na addini abin da addini ya koya mana. To cikin abin da addini ya koya mana shi ne na farko aure da kana so ka kara ba zai daina son ka da na farko ba. Na biyu auren nan da kana so ka kara addini ya koya mana cewa farkon matanka da yara da tana gida din nan ya kamata da saninta ba wai cikin kwana biyu ko kwana uku da kana so ka yi aure ko ranar auren ne farkon matan za ta zo ta san cewa kana so ka yi aure. A'a, addini bai koya mana haka ba. Ba wai addini ya ce dole ne sai mun kara aure. A'a, addini bai ce dole ne. Amma in abin ya zama dole a kanka cewa kana so ka kara aure, to addini ya koya mana cewa ya kamata ka giya ma matan da yana gida din da dalili abin da ya sa kana so ka kara aure. Salamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Jazakallahu khairan. Ìbéèrè tí a bèèrè lọ́nà pé ọkọ tí ó fẹ́ fẹ́ ìyàwó kejì, kí ni tí òun àti ìyàwó sì fẹ́ràn àwọn ara wọn dáadáa, ṣé irú ìgbésẹ̀ yìí ṣé kò lè da inú ilé wọn rú? Àwọn bàbá wa Dr. Wáyà bí sọ pé kò yẹ kó dàrú nítorí pé ìmọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìfẹ́, ìmọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ lọ pẹ̀lú ìfẹ́ láàrin ọkọ àtaya ni. Bọ́kọ ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ mọ kí ni ìsìláàmù fẹ́ kó ń ṣe, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ìyàwó náà gbọ́dọ̀ mọ kí ni ìgbésẹ̀ tọ́kọ lè gbé, kí ni ààlà àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ìmọ̀ tọ̀tún tó sí ọkọ ni wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ nímọ̀ nípa ìsìláàmù ní tó máa bá fìràn lé wọn lọ́wọ́. Ó wá sọ pé tí ọkọ bá fẹ́ gbégbèsè ìyàwó kejì, kíyàwó mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run fi ààyè sílẹ̀ láti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Bó tilẹ̀ pé kì í ṣe dandan, ìyọ̀ǹda ń bẹ, àmọ́ ọkọ fúnra ẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ lè jẹ́ kíyàwó mọ ìdí tí ó fẹ́ fi fẹ́ ìyàwó kejì, nítorí pé ó gbọ́dọ̀ lè jẹ́, ọkọ gbọ́dọ̀ lè jẹ́ kíyàwó mọ̀ pé òun sì nífẹ̀ẹ́ òun, kì í ṣe pé àì nífẹ̀ẹ́ òun mọ́ ni òun ṣe fẹ́ ìyàwó kejì. Sórí pa bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sì gbọ́dọ̀ wá dé pa lójijì, ó jẹ́ tó kọ̀lá tó kọ̀túnla tọ́mọ́lọ́ sí kéde ìgbéyàwó kejì ní ìyàwó tílé ló ṣe máa mọ̀ pé ẹni ọsọ́dẹ ni ẹgbẹ́ ọgbọ́n yìí lọ sí nǹkan ní gbogbo wáyé bẹ́ẹ̀. Gbogbo apáta ẹ̀tọ́ àtòsí ni wọ́n ní ojúṣe bí àwọn ti gbọ́dọ̀ nímọ̀ lórí kí Ọlọ́run fààyè sílẹ̀ láti ṣe bí èèyàn bá ní ìdí láti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ọkùnrin náà gbọ́dọ̀ fi etí ìyàwó rẹ̀ lé, gbọ́dọ̀ fi dí létí lórí gbogbo ìgbésẹ̀ tí ó bá fẹ́ gbé. Jazakumullahu khairan. Dr. Maria Sambelo, sir.
Now.
Yeah, Jazakumullahu khairan. Some of our technical people here advise that to avoid network issue, that if possible your video can be put up so that it will aid the audio, because both will be drawing the bytes or what do you call the byte? Yeah, that is if it distorts. Yeah, if a wife gets married before she found out that there's a boom in her husband's family, a boom family curse, as they put it. Please, what do you advise she does? It might include deaths of her child or her husband having no greater achievements. And what prayer can you advise for such lady? Jazakallahu khairan, sir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Firstly, I'm deeply sorry for not joining the seminar in time. I'm not aware of it. It was just a few minutes had just called me, so then joined, sent the link to me. I'm very sorry.
We are also very sorry.
The answer to the question
I don't believe in anything that is just superstition. A good delay, cause of the family. What is it? It's part of our ignorance culture that we are still carrying. When you are praying regularly, the 5 obligatory prayers with the prayer recommended for us by Khalifa, if you are doing that regularly, you are safe and you are covered. And we should forget all those superstitions in our culture, bringing the same idea after we have joined Islam. Please, that is the major problem I think we are having. Nothing like a delay, nothing like that. It doesn't affect your future at all. Everything is destined by God. It's not somebody bringing something and something is bringing something the way we are thinking. That is the major problem I think we are having. But my own recommendation is observe your 5 obligatory prayers regularly and all the prayer recommended for us by the Khalifa. At the time you are doing that, it covers everything. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi
wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ìbéèrè tí a lọ síta òun náà ni pé a ní ìbéèrè láti ilé pé bí lẹ́yìn ìgbéyàwó tó bá jẹ́ ní obìnrin ṣẹ̀wá ní ìyàwó ṣẹ̀wá mọ̀ pé ègún kan ń bẹ nínú ìdílé ọkọ òun tó ń fa ikú ọmọ tàbí tí ò jẹ́ kí ọkọ òun nídàgbàsókè nípa ti ọrọ̀ ajé, kí ni kóbìnrin òun ṣe, irú àdúrà òun ló sì lè máa ṣe. Abábá Dr. Abọ̀jídé Sàmbélò sọ pé kò tí ẹ yẹ kí mùsùlùmí ní irú ìgbàgbọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, ìgbàgbọ́ asán, ìgbàgbọ́ òdì tó sì ń so, tó ń tọ́ka sí pé ọkàn wa sì ń so mọ́ àwọn ìgbàgbọ́ tó rọ̀ mọ́ àṣà ìbílẹ̀ ni. Nígbà tá a ti di mùsùlùmí, ó yẹ ká bọ́ gbogbo àwọn àwọ̀ àtijọ́ lẹ̀. Bí mùsùlùmí bá ń ṣàdúrà, pàápàá jùlọ tó mú ìrun wákàtí 5 ní ọ̀kúnkúndùn, tó sì ń ṣe gbogbo àwọn àdúrà tí Khalifa yíyàn fún wa ní gbogbo ìgbà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ìjọ yìí, kò sí tí ń jẹ́ ègún kankan, kò sẹ́gun kankan bì kan, bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú ọjọ́ iwájú olúkálukú ẹnikẹ́ni nínú ẹbí. Àkọ́kọ́ kò sí kan tí ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ká mú àwọn akó ń bẹ̀. Bí a bá wá kẹfí àìnídàgbàsókè ká máa àbí àwọn àdánwò wákàtí 5 wa ká mú lọ́kùnkúndùn ká sì máa ṣe àwọn àdúrà tí Khalifa yíyàn fún wa lóòrèkóòrè. Zaka.
Assalamu alaikum. An yi wani tambaya ne fa, kuma tambaya nan ina jin a ƙasar Hausawa a wani kawai ce gidan al'umma ana kira shi course. Amma cewa abubuwa da dangi ko iyali yana kan dangi ko iyali. Dr. Abdulwakil Hassan Bello ya ba mu ansa cewa ba abu da ana kira a cikin addinin musulunci. In kai cikakken musulmi ne, za ka san cewa cikin imanin na musulmi ka san akwai khairi wa sharri, ya kamata ka gane cewa min Allah ta'ala da wurin Allah ne. Ba wuri mutum da zai yi kame ka. Kuma ana gaya mana cewa in muna bin al'ummomi wanda khalifa na yanzu yana ba mu ne, kai ba za ka samu wani damuwa ba. Ba za a ce wani ne yana dama musulmi ya yarda cewa wani ne yana da mishi ba. In kai cikakken musulmi ne, in komai ya same ka na alheri, za ka san cewa daga wajen Allah ne. In komai ya same ka na sharri, za ka san cewa za ka yarda da cewa daga wajen Allah ne. Amma cikin addini din mu bai yarda da mu yarda da cewa wani ne yana dame mu ba, ko wani iyali ko wani abu da yana cikin rage su shi ne yana dame shi. A'a ya ce amma in kai cikakken musulmi ne, addu'o'i ka da kana yi na farko kuma sallolin guda 5 ne ka da kana yi ya ishe ka. Komai da ya same ka khairihi wa sharrihi kasancewa min Allah ta'ala daga wajen Allah ne. Allah ya samu lafiya.
We are welcoming again to our set of panelists in Sadran of the auxiliary bodies. With me here are Sadar Madhu Ahmadiyya, my dear brother Abdul Rakib Hakim Isa. Please,
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We also have Sadar Saiba Najla Iman Nigeria. Adia Tawfiqa Fabula Disaiba. Mama. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Okay,
Assalamu alaikum
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan. Welcome, ma. Then our respected father, Sarasai Madis Ansarullah, Nigeria. Sarasai Ansarullah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan. Then we have the national, we have national Tarbiyah Secretary Sahib here, and Ati Muhammad Mutanta Shitu. Your salam to the house.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan. I now come to Magistrate Cyber. Please, ma'am. A questioner wants to know if or who is or are third parties in matrimony. If there is any. Is there any third party in matrimony?
In Islam, we have been made to know that marriage is an intimate relationship between two people, a man and a woman. A great marriage will only be made if this relationship remains within the two of them. Otherwise, you see the other side of the marriage. So, it means that there are third parties in marriage. Or anybody can be related or called third party in marriage. And who are these people? Since we have known that the relationship between a man and a woman, so every other person, a parent, sisters, brothers, neighbors, friends, and whoever are third parties in that marriage. Couples must stop reporting themselves to any of these third parties to maintain a good marital relationship. And I did say that relationships are not destroyed by third parties, but destroyed by those who entertain this third party. So to have an harmonious relationship, all couples must be one that we try to do with third parties in our marriage, especially the early part of our marriage. And when there are issues, like I said earlier, instead of bringing third party, it is always good to bring a group of people who will not be partial in their decisions or who will not take sides with any of them. Because parents, we have seen, the parents have shown that parents, sisters, even neighbors who are already looking up to those the couples and probably thinking that there will be a day that there will be a breakup within this couple because of probably being envious of their relationship. If you dare report your spouse to them, obviously they're coming up with issues that will escalate or complicate whatever the situation is. So there are third parties in marriage, and these are every other individual that comes with that relationship, either to settle issues or who the man or the woman is reporting with spouse to. That's the way it goes.
A rider question follows.
Yes, sir.
For a husband to have more than a wife, can the second, third, or fourth wife be seen as parties in the marriage of the husband with, or let me put it this way, as the questioner wants us to put it. Let's limit it to 2 wives with a husband. Can the second wife be regarded as a third party in the marriage of the man with the first wife? Is it erroneous or correct to think that way or to believe that?
Yes. The second wife will be a third party in issues that are pertaining to the first wife. And the first wife will be a third party on issues that are pertaining to that second wife. Men should be able to manage between the 2 wives and know what to discuss with one another. But in a situation where a man is discussing the first wife with the second wife, then bringing in third party into the issue of that first wife. And where he is discussing intimate issues of the second wife with the first wife, is bringing the first wife into that relationship as a third party. So in a polygamous relationship, a man should know how to manage his relationship so as not to make the other one as a third party in the affair of the second party. We may be thinking that because they are now in multiple, because they are no longer a man and a woman. Yet, the issue of third party is still coming where the man in a situation where he's staying or sleeping with the first one and started discussing the second wife in that relationship where they are having their nice time, and now started discussing the second wife. It's bringing that first wife as a third party into the issue of that second wife. So that is the area where we can term each of them as third party in their various issues. That's the only thing.
Tàbí àyè alàgàtà ń bẹ bí láàrin ọkọ àti ìyàwó. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé ó ṣeé ṣe kí alàgàtà kí ó wáyé láàrin ọkọ àti ìyàwó. Ọkọ àti ìyàwó ó ní wọ́n máa mọ bá ṣàwọn máa fi àyè gba irú alàgàtà bẹ́ẹ̀ tàbí àwọn ò ní fi àyè gbà wọ́n. Bí àwọ̀ bá wáyé, ẹnìkan tàbí wọ́n máa fi ẹjọ́ sùn. Ẹni tó bá fẹjọ́ sùn ó gbọdọ̀ dá sí lọ́nà tí òtún fi ní kó bá ìgbéyàwó yẹn sí ni. Àmọ́ bí ò bá sí àwọ̀, ọkọ tàbí ìyàwó kò gbọdọ̀ máa mú ẹni ní alágbọ̀nà dùn tàbí ẹni tí ó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ọkọ tàbí ìyàwó rẹ̀ fún tí ìwọ̀n wà máa bá wọn dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ ìgbéyàwó wọn. Eléyìí ó ní wọ́n gbọdọ̀ mójútó. Alàgàtà lè fẹ́ wáyé yálà àbúrò ọkọ ẹ̀gbọ́n ọkọ àwọn ẹbí ọkọ tàbí àwọn ẹbí ìyàwó ó lè fẹ́ wáyé bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni wọ́n dúró àti bá wọn dá sí ìgbéyàwó wọn. Àwọn méjèèjì ni wọ́n máa dènà kí wọ́n má bá wọn dá sí kí àlàáfíà kó lè máa wà láàrin àwọn méjèèjì. Àmọ́ bí àwọ̀ bá wá lọ wáyé nígbà tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ rí ojútùú ẹ̀ láàrin ara wọn mọ́ kí wọ́n gbìyànjú láti fọ̀rọ̀ lọ ta ni ẹni àlàáfíà láti bá wọn dá sí. Béèrè tàbí wá fi kún òun náà tí ẹnìkan fẹ́ tàbí kún náà ni pé ṣé ìyàwó kejì náà di ọkọ a lè gbàgbọ́ tàbá lè rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí alàgàtà láàrin ìyàwó àkọ́kọ́ àti ọkọ wọn. Wọ́n ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ṣeé ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ bí ọkọ ò bá fi làákàyè sí kó gbègbè sí ayé ṣọ̀túnṣòsì má ba bìkan jẹ́ láàrin ìyàwó kìíní àti ìyàwó kejì. Wọ́n lè fi àyè gba ìkan náà àwọn ìyàwó méjèèjì láti di alàgàtà torí pé lẹ́ẹ̀kanṣo lábẹ́ òrùlé ìyàwó kan òun àtọkọ rẹ̀ ní ọkọ àti ìyàwó ni wọ́n, ẹnì kẹta ò sí láàrin wọn kò sì gbọdọ̀ sí. Lábẹ́ òrùlé ìyàwó kejì èèyàn méjì ni wọ́n, ọkọ àti ìyàwó ni wọ́n, ẹnì kẹta ò bá wọn gbọdọ̀ bá wọn dá sí. Ìyàwó àkọ́kọ́ ò bá wọn bá wọn dá sí, ìyàwó kejì ò sì gbọdọ̀ bá wọn dá sí lọ́dọ̀ ìyàwó àkọ́kọ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni báwo la ṣe ń ṣe ní kọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ nínú yàrá láàrin ìyàwó àkọ́kọ́ àti ìyàwó kejì kò kò gbọ́dọ̀ hàn sí ìkíní kejì àwọn ìyàwó wọ̀nyẹn. Eléyìí bí a bá ti fi làákàyè sí tàbí fi payọ náà bá gbé kalẹ̀ kò ní sí wàhálà. A sì ní rí ìyàwó tó dé gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìkejì àmì gẹ́gẹ́ bí alàgàtà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìyàwó àkọ́kọ́ ní dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí alàgàtà láàrin ìyàwó kejì àti ọkọ wọn.
Tambaya da aka yi yanzu shi ne wai a cikin aure akwai na uku wanda ya ba mu amsa nan ita ne magistrate ta ce cikin aure wani bai ana samun na uku ya lakanin ko yaya ko masu zama tare da su, amma shawara da ya bada shi ne kar ya kasance komai ne ke faruwa a gidansu da za su rika su gyara mutane cewa amma in kun yadda ko in kusan cewa to alamura da ba za ku yi ku gyara shi da kanku ba sai ku nemo wani da ya rage su Allah ku biya mashi shi na farko kenan. Na biyu an ce mata na biyu ko na uku zai yi zama na uku ne su a gidan wanda zai za a dinga ba da shawara, to ta ce wannan yana da wuri bi shi ma ya ana samun matsala da waɗannan saboda me shi matan aure ne in abu da yake faruwa tsakanin miji da farko matan na biyu nan taki ko na uku nan taki dukkan mu ne musa cewa wannan zai yayi jami'an matsala garai tsakanin mijin da matan, kuma in muka san in suka san cewa za a yi a gyara wani abu tsakanin su ba to a neme wanda yana yin tsoro Allah wanda yana da takuwa a zuciyarsa ba wai kowane mutum ba ne za a biya neman a biya masu abu da yake faruwa a gidansu ya zo ya ba su shawara. Allah shi ya da
What about Mrs. Basira Nico? We're sure you're still here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, example of that. The audio is clear now. Example of that. Yeah, what do we do when urge for intimacy of a partner is higher than that of the other partner? This is the question.
Actually,
wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
The heart of one is very simple. Nothing is communication. The husband and the wife have to sit down together. They have to talk it out. And if they talk it out, it is not a matter of illness on the part of the other partner. There are some fools to run away from, to make him be perform very easy. That even support that notion that the urge in a man than that woman. And I think that urge more than such talk. Just relate those feelings. It's the family to sit down together. It concerns them very well. They to speak it out. That's the man. I think in that every act in the house. If the one on the all back to be fight out. The woman if your husband will not satisfy you, just tell us that challenge or bring more out. As starting to start the applications.
Even though we have some echoes in the network audio, but I got perfectly the issue of communication that should be talked out. If there is an issue of such between a couple, it should be well discussed between husband and wife. Did I get you well now? Yeah, exactly. Let me of these notes come to Dr. Moshida Saida. As a psychologist, how do we handle such situation?
As an expert in mental health, including psychology, psychiatry, and many more.
Oh, exactly.
Thank you, sir.
And how was it perceived?
Well, the issue of libido is a very sensitive and crucial issue in matrimonial homes. And the first thing from what my mother, our former father, said, it's something that has to be discussed. It should be normalized. Because in our environment, people don't talk about it. And many homes are dying, and people are suffering while smiling. And those are the major issues that they're not able to talk about. Because in our culture, it's like a taboo that you don't talk about it. And that is why I wanted to quickly make a reference to something that former father said. It's not everybody that will be able to handle this. We have experts that are trained in handling this. But now, briefly, when we have these issues with libido or sexual drive or any aspect of sex in marital relationship, the first thing is we can't handle issues without knowing the reasons behind it. It's not in all cases that everything is normal. For example, if you're having disparities or one of the couple's sexual drive is higher than the other one. In some cases, there are health issues that warrant for that. And these are serious health issues. So it is good to find out the cause. And while finding the cause and trying to manage the issues, then we look at how we walk through this. And that takes me to the psychological aspect that you have to start. This psychological aspect is not something that is just a business of those that are affected. It's a business of all. And that's what we're talking about. We should normalize the issue. And a very good thing is the Rishtanata platform in Japan creates a very good avenue for people to come out and talk about it. And when we are doing this, it's important to note that we need to have experts in sexual affairs, like gynecologists, to also be part of the discussion. Because many a time, from experience, the issues come up because we don't learn about our reproductive systems, we don't learn about some different changes occurring in our system. And it's making it difficult for us to be able to differentiate between the normal and when the abnormality is coming up. So when we all understand, we will not be judgmental in dealing with this couple. And we will not put one of the couple as the bad one or the good one. So often we have, I'm trying to break it down, we have series of events or treatments that goes into it. But the first of it, we have to talk about it. We have to be ready for that discussion. We have to be ready for the treatment. Because as part of treatment, there may be a need for what Thomas had said. It may be on the aspect of type of violence that we go through, when we come back, the type of having to take a cold bath and things like that. So it's an encompassing thing. And the short of it is there is help. There are available health mechanisms. And we should be ready to go for it.
Ìbéèrè tí a bèèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn bàbá wa méjèèjì, Former Saraladina àti Dr. Rishtanata Saiba, ó ní pé bí egun ẹnìkan bá le ju tẹnìkejì lọ láàrin ọkọ àti ìyàwó nípa ìbára ẹni ṣepọ̀ nínú ilé gẹ́gẹ́ bí lọ́kọláya, kí ni ẹnìkejì lè ṣe? Ìdáhùn tí orí ibi tí ìdáhùn yẹn tó sì sùn lé òun náà ni pé ká bára wa sọ. Tá bá bára wa sọ, ojútùú á lè wáyé. Ẹgbẹ́ ẹnìkejì yóò mọ báwo ló ṣe máa túnra òun ṣe kí ó lè tẹ́ ẹni tí egun tí ẹ lé jù ó lè tẹ́ lọ́rùn, yálà ìyàwó àkọ́kọ́. Àmọ́ nígbà míì wọ́n ṣàlàyé pé ó ṣeé ṣe ó jẹ́ àwọn ìpèníjà kan ló ń fà á tára fi lè kókókó bẹ́ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ múwá òun náà ní apá ẹyẹlé tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀ ń ké nípa ìbáraẹniṣepọ̀ láàrin ọkọ àtaya. Fún ẹ̀yìn náà àtúnṣe ń bẹ, àwọn alámòjútó rẹ̀ wà nígbà tá a bá sì sọ̀rọ̀ síta náà ni. Àmọ́ wọ́n pè wá sákèsí pé kókó yìí jẹ́ kókó tí a máa ń rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí èèwọ̀ láti sọ láwùjọ wa. Àmọ́ pẹ́lẹ́ fọ́nà pé nínú ìjọ a ní ètò Rishtanata, a ní àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ Rishtanata tá a máa lọ kó ẹjọ́ bá. Bàbá lọ́dọ̀ wọn tó bá jẹ́ nǹkan báyìí náà ló fa awuyewuye ká sọ ọ́ síta. Wọ́n sì wá gba àwọn elétò Rishtanata náà ní ìmọ̀ràn wípé tó má fi wọn lórí àwọn alálàáfáà nìkan. Wọ́n jẹ́ kí àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n, àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ nídìí ètò ìrìn àjò ọpọlọ ẹ̀dá àti ìhùwàsí ẹ̀dá kí wọ́n jẹ́ kọ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ tí ó máa mójútó ètò lọ́kọláya. Yàtọ̀ sí yẹn, báwo ni obìnrin ṣe lè ṣe tí oyún ó fi dúró sí lára tàbí tó yóò fi ní máa bàjẹ́? Báwo lọkùnrin lè ṣe tí ó jẹ́ pé àwọn nǹkan àdámọ́ tí Ọlọ́run dámọ́ tí ó fi tètè mú èso wá fún obìnrin nígbà tí Ọlọ́run bá ṣàmì sí fún wọn? Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí òun náà ló yẹ kí àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ nípa ìtàgbẹ̀ ní gynecologist ló yẹ kó máa bá wa dá sí tọ́sí ìwọ̀n táwọn náà tí wọ́n sì wọ́n tí dr mọ́ṣúláì sọ fún wa pé ó yẹ ká wá ẹnìkan àbí méjì irú wọn tó máa pẹ̀lú àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ ètò Rishtanata. Tẹ̀síwájú náà wọ̀ fẹ́ràn. Jazakumullah, Dr. Taufik, former Sadar Malik Udam Namadia, wọ́n fẹ́ bá wa dá sí ìdáhùn yẹn. Dr. Sam, Hausa translator will combine the explanations together.
What I just want to add is that when there is difference in libido between husband and wife, most of the time it is on if the wife is having a lower libido, it might not really show, except the stress that the man might go through. Most of the time when a woman is not even interested, when the husband says let's do it, except maybe pain at times, the stress she may accept. When the low libido is on the one side, now we have a regular talk. You know the way Allah created the organ of the male and female, even when the female is not interested, it's like, oh, we can still do something. But when the male is not interested because of low libido, it's not like giving erection at all, so you will not be able to do anything. And you know our society has two females. They are not expected to complain as a society in code. So most of them they don't talk. But yesterday the question is that some people are not even satisfying their wives sexually and they still be getting from another wife. The wife at home is not even getting satisfied. She's trying to marry and the other is talking about I want to marry another wife. So I still think that for such issues, if you cannot get the counseling session, there will be a standard in Japan. But also have a group group of doctors that can be contacting via phone calls. So that they can actually work the female, because most of the time too, it's difficult for the female to initiate that discussion. You know, it is somewhat difficult for you to say, she that. I don't know how to. It's a difficult thing for a woman to do. To not call the husband and say, so the woman need to tell someone who can actually maybe talk to the husband, and the husband must also agree that we want to discuss. Because to men, most as a shameful thing for them to, for a man to be accused, our culture, to be accused as they are not doing well. So it's a more technical thing. And we need to have a committee that maybe females can actually talk to in confidence, who can now, look at the way you can approach the man. You can even ask her the question that, hey, how can I do better with my wife? Can I even tell that I'm also not doing well, what can I do? So that I look like as if the female is promiscuous in code and is trying to now accuse, because it has happened to me as a doctor. When the husband is not doing well, and the husband came in during intervention, they are accusing the wife of being promiscuous. So the last says she lost sex more. And I said, don't accuse this man, you are the one not doing well. And throughout that counseling session, the man was not ready to agree that he's not doing well. He kept on accusing the woman of being too sexually active. So it's a more difficult thing for the woman, except to have the counseling session where you can actually come in and so it might not be a contact thing. It can also be a phone call, Zoom meeting that actually the couple can sit at home, the doctor can engage them, try to solve their problem, and those things should be looked into, and the session will be the amount to solve this problem.
It's getting more interesting. I'm forced to say a few things because we are going to the other aspects of the world, especially for the female. It's a taboo. Women's voices are not meant to be heard. And our environment does not support a woman saying that outside. It's more like you are reporting your husband in court. And that's why it's good we're talking about this. We want to normalize this because it brings in lots of issues. There will keep on telling you there's no problem, but the problem is they're going to kill them. And it's not just counseling. Counseling is just a tip of it. Counseling are different things. And that's why we're saying that there are some other medical conditions. For example, depression, irreversible. The woman is not happy, maybe the man as well. So it's not all the time that, okay, we just talk about it. We may need to go into real treatment to be able to find out what are the possible reasons. And from there, be able to take up to the next level, such that everybody is happy. And there is that comfort, as we were giving in the lecture, to be the main reason for coming together as husband and wife. And everybody around will also be happy. Because when I answer that question, I don't want to relate to different aspects of relationship, but it's something that needed to be given serious or more serious attention. It can never be overemphasized that marital issues are emergencies and we have to do it all the time.
It's getting more interesting. Honestly, if it is this particular point that we will actually discuss in this session and the way to go by it, other related issues we just rest their wings and they will just move away. Because if the wife is happy and the husband is also happy, there will be no point. Even if their economic standard is not so much buoyant, they will be able to manage themselves. The pressure will be a by issue and some other things. This happened with Dr. Saiba and Dr. Solisa. Ohun tí wọ́n bá a sọ ní ṣókí ni pé ó lè wà lọ́dọ̀ ọkùnrin, ó lè wà lọ́dọ̀ obìnrin, àmọ́ sísọ síta rẹ̀ òun ló máa wá ojútùú sí. Àmọ́ àwùjọ wa ó dàbí pé kò gba obìnrin láyè láti sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ síta. Professor, Dr. Omoshina Saiba said, so our society sees it as a taboo for women to report such issue of intimacy if the husband fails in his own duty. What advice does Islam ask on this kind of issue. If the wife is suffering in silence on this kind of issue, man can easily, have 1 + 1 together. We will only be guided within what Islam allows. But if the wife is suffering on this kind of issue, what does she do?
Whenever we talk about the micro-institute of the society that is family, Islam always enjoins the mutual understanding of husband and wife. If the mutual understanding has gone up to that extent, then there is no question of any suffering from the side of woman. You will always see there is a breach of trust, or the atmosphere is not healthy enough for the two parties or one of them to have that confidence in each other. Then suffering will come in, either from the side of woman or man. If we happen to see an example that a woman is suffering inside and the man, because he has a public life as well, so he has other avenues to discuss these things, maybe to defend with other people, relatives or colleagues. Islam enjoys the family value. The family value in a way that the woman who is suffering inside should not publicize all these things, but to go to the relevant counseling body. It can be Islam, it can be family, it can be brother, or even mother-in-law, to discuss these things, not making a drama, but with the pure intention of solving the issue. I think Islam enjoys this. As I have said earlier, that mutual understanding is very important, not only in between man and wife, in between the two families as well. When they go into a matrimonial tie, the mother-in-law should not look at herself that I am mother of the husband of this wife. She should have a sense that I am mother of the two. Like Holy Prophet, there was disagreement once in between Hazrat Fatima and Hazrat Ali radiallahu. It was not that Hazrat Ali went to the prophetic mosque, Masjid Nabi, and lie down there. Like usually husbands do when they fight with the wife, they sleep somewhere. So Rasulullah came to the house and he saw Hazrat Fatima to be sober a bit. He asked her what the problem was. So she said that we had a disagreement, and he asked, where is your husband? I don't know. Okay. Holy Prophet knew where Ali could have gone. So he went to Masjid Nabawi and he saw him lying down. When Hazrat Fatima said that we had a disagreement, Holy Prophet did not dig the matter. What is the problem? Tell me, I am going to teach him lesson. Or, like a traditional father of a wife who will just be emotional that, okay, it means he is doing injustice to you, I will deal with him. No, he trusted. He just heard that Ali is not in the house and he will be somewhere, he went, and he just brought Ali out. And that is the time when Holy Prophet gave him the name of Abu Turab, because he was lying down on the ground. So he just woke him up. He said, Mr. Man, what happened? Wake up. He stood up. What happened? He just held his hand, took him back to the house. He did not listen to the husband as well. Now, what is the disagreement between you and Fatima? Because he was father to Ali as well. Because Ali was trained by Holy Prophet even before Quran. So this model of Holy Prophet shows that when there is disagreement between wife and husband, the parents, both sides, should not call them in-laws, rather they should call them fathers and mothers. And when they come in, I think by the grace of Allah, major problem is going to be solved within the family.
Bí ọ̀rọ̀ bá rí báyìí, pàápàá jùlọ tó bá jẹ́ obìnrin, òun ni ó ń fi ara sọ nípa èyí kí ló lè ṣe ọ̀nà wo ni Islam tọ́ wa sí. Wọ́n dá ọ lóhùn pé Islam fi àyè sílẹ̀ pé ká gbọ́ra wa yé lábẹ́ ilé. Tí a bá gbọ́ra wa yé lábẹ́ ilé kì í ṣe láàrin ọkọ àti ìyàwó nìkan, láàrin àwọn òbí àwọn méjèèjì wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ ríra wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹbí, kí bàbá ọkọ àti ìyá ọkọ kí wọ́n rí ìyàwó ọmọ wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ, kí bàbá ìyàwó àti ìyá ìyàwó kí wọ́n rí ọkọ ọmọ wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ, kó má rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí àna. Bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni kí ìyàwó náà má rí àwọn òbí ọkọ ẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìyá ọkọ tàbí bàbá ọkọ, kó rí wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí bàbá rẹ̀ àti ìyá ẹ̀. Tó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀, bí ìpèníjà yìí bá wáyé, á rí ẹnìkan náà àwọn méjèèjì tó lè lọ sábà pé tọ́ ń bá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ kó má sọ di yẹ̀yẹ́, kó má rẹ̀ sọ kó tiẹ́ kọ́ náà dà. Bí màá tó wọn fẹjọ́ ọkọ òun sùn lọ́nà àìdá, àwọn ní ìpèníjà yìí kí làwọn lè ṣe. Bí a bá ti ní ìfọkàntánú ara ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ láìsáré àdé, ojútùú yóò wá sí irú ìṣòro bẹ́ẹ̀. Bí ò bá wá sí, bí lọ́dún mọ́rọ̀ sọ náà ni pé ká lọ bá àwọn elétò ìjọ tí a lè fọkàn tán, ká àwọn elétò ìjọ tí a ti gbé kalẹ̀ tó wà ní ipò ìfọkàn tán, ká lọ bá wọn, ká ṣàlàyé fún wọn, wọn á wá ojútùú sí i. Gbogbo ohun tí a sọ lórí ẹ̀ ní oṣù kọjá pé ká sọ̀rọ̀ síta, ká má dé mọ́ra, àmọ́ tá a fẹ́ sọ fún èyí ni ló ṣe pàtàkì. Please, in 1 minute, answer the question.
Kamar da ana a hanyar shi ne ƙarfin maza da ƙarfin mata. Wannan yana cikin matsaloli da ana samu. Wani bi ne zai samu matsala, kuma wani bi matan ne tana samun matsala. Amma su dokokinmu sun yi mana magana cewa na farko tsakanin su za su yi magana nan, su yi shawara, su yi magana, su gona tare, su sa abu da yana kawo matsala nan. Kun san wani bi mijin shi wani bi ya zo ya zo kusa da matan, kuma mata ya fara ta tafi, wani bi ma mata ne zai diga sami mijin, kuma a ga cewa mijin shi ma ba shi da karfin maza. To wannan abin da addini ya koya mana, wanda aka gaya mana su lokacin mu yanzu, shi ne na farko a zona tsakanin su a yi wannan magana. In ba a samu ansa ba, a je a neman dokoki da za a yi musu magana da za a kai wa shawara din nan. Bayan wannan za a iya a yi magana da iyalinsu, ma'aikinsu, za a yi a kira su a yi musu magana. Amma ana so a gan cewa a yanzu kan cikin matsala da ana samu shi ne wannan matsala karfin maza da karfin mata din nan. To addini ya zo ya koya mana cewa komai sai a hankali. Za mu kira dokoki ko a ji a samu iyalin a gaya masu mai matsala tsakanin su. Allah shi ya zo.
I come to another generation to be National Affairs Secretary. The questioner said, actually, I really appreciate the Jamaat efforts for sustainability after Nikah. Apart from cancelling the groom and the bride, what is Jamaat's plan for 10 years to come on the younger ones? Because the way this one is going, I pray to Allah Almighty for our next generation to come not to sink into this, the present victim, I think, the problem of matrimony. What is the plan of the Jamaat? A member of the National Affairs Secretary, a member of the Science Committee, a member of National Rishtanata Committee. You have to answer.
In fact, that question calls for a lot of thinking, because we are in the type of team, we are in the same country. The way things are going, you know, it's like we forgot our commitments. When we say Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, God, we call it Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission. The word mission has a dream. At least we have a mission to carry out in Islam. So that mission is that we are closing. We are going back. And the mission is to establish heaven on earth. Because God has promised Muslims generally that He will give us Jannah here and here. So if we have that in mind, but we cannot have that unless we set our priority. In the doctrine of the Holy Book, there was a book that says, "Oh, ye seek the heaven first, seek the heaven first, and the rest shall follow." We don't seek the heaven first now. We don't think of it at all. We think of this present time. So we have to set our priority.
What is the plan of Jamaat?
The plan of Jamaat now is yes, it has been set for this what we are discussing. Because we have Islamic committee, we have Rishtanata committee, we have Kabir committee. We are working hard now that we now want to orientate, we want to set the goal of our Jamaat. That we should go to mind heaven first before this.
Exactly, man. Let us say that.
Just a brief one. I think that question is a very pertinent one. We are looking at in the long term, what are we putting in place to prevent many of what we are seeing now, because on daily basis is increasing. And to do that, we need to look back and reflect on what are the changes in the world that we are seeing now. Currently, there are fewer physical meetings. There are more of the social media connectivities. And our youth are not getting to know themselves before they get married in terms of the values of the Jamaat, the programs, having to meet, no thanks to the pandemic that we have currently. But even before the pandemic, there are social media issues. So I think as part of the long-term solution, we may need to have more physical events in addition to hybrid meetings. Hybrid that some will join physically, some will join online. And before people get married, there have to be different programs that will encourage. We don't have to sit down and look at ourselves in the face. Because the culture that we have in Nigeria is a bit different from what we have in the Western world. And the way we have to solve our solution, we need to adapt some of the little changes in our context, in our culture. So we need to think outside the box. I don't have the solution now, but we need to sit down and see how to tackle some of these changes that we are seeing in social media, in our youth and all that. Because those are where they are having their values. And many of the things that the older generations are saying, they will tell you, I've checked this online. And there are a lot of channels, there are a lot of wrong things, but they tend to take to where they're seeing solutions. They're not having access. And as human beings, we cannot totally replace face-to-face interaction.
I have the privilege to inform those of us who are sending one observation or the other or questions on the chat room that we will not be able to attend to them, but we assure all of us that all those notes will be copied out and they will be perfectly attended to, and they will have impacts on the doings of all the relevant departments in the Jamaat, the workings of all the relevant departments in the Jamaat. And that's one thing or the other to do with regard to matrimonial life. Either be the Islamic committee, Tarbiyah department, Rishtanata department, even the Darul Qadar, inshallah, like this. Let's continue to pray, because by 1:15 we may have to call it a day because of proceeding masters and things, inshallah, like this. And we're already on the dot now. I go to Sada Badis and Sarullah. Respected Sada sir, if a man fails in his responsibility towards his family members and the wife, for example, the man is not ready to, and the woman is not ready to report him officially for the fear that the husband's attitude may lead to a certain discipline that may affect their children's future. What steps can be taken to save the marriage? Moreover, when the man is not ready to sit for settlement out of arrogance. This is a note. These are this question from home. What do we do on this side?
Thank you for the question. It's a passionate one. And this was Tanzania is looking day out. People from Islamic, Canada, from each time we come for settlement one thing or the other. So let's bring on the adverse effect from the man, that is enough said. So, putting the question before me is not new, it's a thing that I've said. So, what matters is that those that we are talking about, we have observed that they are dormant style. They are very dormant style. And call them for regular programs, they will not come. We have divided various means in setting up Caribbean activities. So for instance, there was national officers training. And when they go back, they go and replicate it in order to address the kind of situation. But instead, they will never come. They are too arrogant to attend the mass program. So they don't care. Another difficult thing that we are facing is that some of our members live very far from the mosque. And the only thing is that they usually come to the mosque for prayers, for Bible, for this and that. But now,
sorry to cut you, sir. What do the woman do? What do you advise that the concerned wife, what should she do if she finds herself in such situation? Caught in the web of arrogance of the husband.
The courage will be bold enough to report it. It's just the type of the baby face to look out. You continue to be an other man, you will continue to offer a silence. So you take up interest in reporting the matter, even I don't report to everybody. She takes time to report to the father, or the national line or at work, they will send such a thing to their mail. So, and when it is reported, that person will become the other. That's good.
Is that fair, sir? I think the person, if she's online, or the person that knows the person who are sending this question, or anyone having the same situation, should report the husband. There is no way Jamaat will come in. Even if you want the Khalifa to pray, you will still need to write to the Khalifa. You want Khalifa to come into it to solve the issue for you, report it. Either material settlement or psychological settlement, any kind of settlement that we assist, Jamaat is capable of offering those kind of settlement. But if it is not reported, then as Abbas said, sovereign silence may continue. May Allah the Almighty save us from such situation. Yeah, I come to Salah Majid Kudam Ahmadiyya. Sorry. Yeah, Salah Kudam. What do we do to a man who doesn't know or acts like someone who is responsible? A man who doesn't discharge his financial, I think this is a kind of repeated question. Yeah. What are the evils attached to non-courtship and how best can parents or Jamaat assist in discouraging these acts to better guide their children? So that this house will do it down so much. Non-courtship.
The question is, what are the evils attached to non-courtship and how best can parents manage this situation in Jamaat? First, I would like to highlight certain evils that are attached to non-courtship in Jamaat or among our youths. And then the one thing is that it opens room for zina. And then it also causes dishonor from either of the parties. And I mean from the man or the woman that are in courtship. And then the third is there is possibility of having separation. And then lastly, there is possibility of just circle of use and done between the two of them. Now, when you look at it, when you have a long courtship that gives room for not seeing each other because you do not have rights to each other at that point in time. So it gives you probably lack of coordination and all that. It's important that the Jama as a body, and of course as every individual, should take note of what Rasulullah says. And then in consonance with that, we have many young, let me say young people that are able to marry, but they choose not to marry. Because some of them might say, because of societal influences, they might say, I want to enjoy myself before I get married. And then they are not taking into consideration what Rasulullah has advised. Rasulullah says, whoever among you is capable of ba'ata to get married. And what does ba'ata mean? It means that some scholars say that ba'ata means if that person is able to pay dowry. Some people say if that person is capable of taking your shelter. But many people agree that it is dowry because even if you are into marriage, Allah only knows tomorrow. If you are well to do today financially, tomorrow can be challenged. So if you are saying that somebody is able to go into marriage because he's able to cater for shelter, to cater for feeding the housing and all that, what if tomorrow Allah wants to test the family? And of course, at that time, they are financially struggling. So it is as some people have the opinion that if that person is capable of paying or taking care of the wife to get into marriage. And then when we now look at it, you see that the number of people who get married. I have some scenario that I can paint here for people who are going to marriages and at their younger age and they were successful. The very good example that I will state are two. Number one is our respected Professor Abdullah Rahman. He got married to his wife in pharmacies where both of them were undergraduates. And then today, alhamdulillah. So if the number two is the immediate pastor of High School Nigeria. He's a medical doctor. As a medical student, he got married when he was in university, even at a 0 or 4 level student. So that tells us that, and today he's a PhD holder. Professor Abdullah is a professor today. Many issues we have in Japan is that when you leave these people, when you leave the younger ones, to live their life the way they want, you see that a number of them come together in secrets and they do things that are not worthy because they are in a relationship. I've attended, when I was a state in Lagos, I attended a seminar by Amsa Lagos. They were asking questions around themselves. A lady asked the question that why is it that in our membership we have some of us that are dating more than 2 ladies among the answer. So it is because they appear to be directionalists. And then because they do that, they will give room for zina. You have one person, you are not ready for marriage, you are engaging somebody that you are not ready to go into marriage for. So it is important that parents have this understanding that the societal influences are there to affect our younger ones. They must be ready to shoulder the responsibility of these younger ones. And that's exactly what happened to Professor Abdullah at that time. I was in a program yesterday with Dr. Sanisai. He mentioned that when he came up with the idea that he wanted to get married at early, he consulted his parents. And then the parents, especially the father, was afraid, like how would you do it? And as a young, very sharp person, he said he did his SWOT analysis to say, okay, this is my strengths, these are the possible weaknesses, these are the possible things that may happen, and how I will be able to come out of it. And then he tested him with that, and by today he's successful. So parents should also be there to give support, even though they are students, they are in high institution, they are not well to do financially, you need to support them. By then you are doing that, you are protecting the societal values that have been lost evidently in our Japan. Because I can tell you for free, the fact he also mentioned in that program yesterday that if you do a test among our members, either men or women, younger ones, you see that there are a large number of them that are not valids. And of course, it's because societal influences that we have not been able to manage, especially encouraging the early marriage. By the time you encourage early marriage, there will be a kind of makeshift for having no courtship.
Jazakumullah. Ẹ̀yin òbí àbí àwọn òbí onísàdáàbùdá lọ́wọ́ lójú ọ̀rọ̀ kọ. Bàbá pẹ́ lórí ìgbọ̀nsẹ̀ jù, ìṣíkéṣí, a máa bá àyò ń bẹ̀ ká sì ṣe lè lórí. Kámọ̀jẹ̀ kí àwọn ọmọ wa tó ti lẹ́yìn àfẹ́sọ́nà ọkùnrin, obìnrin, kámọ̀jẹ̀ kí wọ́n pẹ́ jù lórí ẹ̀. Tá bá ti kẹ́bí tàbí wọ́n wá bá wa náà ní ká tètè ṣètò lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Ó yá ìwọ̀nba ìgbìyànjú tó bá lè ṣe lórí ilé ìwé wọn káàkiri láti máa ṣe lọ́nà ọba tó pẹ̀lú kọ̀ọ̀kan lọ́wọ́ ohun tí wọ́n sọ fún wa òun náà ní ilé yìí. Our time has been so far spent. As a last question we will throw out two questions. One to Salah Nigeria Cyber, 2 in 1. Salah Cyber, why do some Nigerian members have strong opposition? Some, please, in quotes, have strong opposition to their husbands marrying more than one wife. And second part of the question is, why is it that our female youth are finding it difficult to marry in the Jamaat? Please, the combined questions, ma'am. Jazakumullah. Salam alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam warahmatullahi.
Concerning the issue of Lajna members, some Lajna members opposing their husband going into polygamy, I could say that it's the societal influence. It is what we understand concerning the society. Most of us, we have put away the teachings of Islam that allows and permits our male counterpart to marry more than one wife. So far they are able to give us reasons, so far they have tangible reasons to do so. But the issue of the Western teaching that we all embrace, that supports one man, one wife, that is what we should do away with. The moment I'm very sure that the moment we embrace what Islam teaches, then our society will be better. And if couples, they do away with, how do I put it, they do away with, they are sincere among themselves. If the husband is very sincere with the wife, you know, when Dr. Abu was saying something, was passing his own message the other time, he said the husband should be able to carry the wife along, state the particular reason why he wants to take another wife. So if that wife now understands her husband very well, and with real love amongst them, she should be able to permit it. We should all embrace the teaching of Islam. That is my advice towards all Nigerians, irrespective of age and even category. So then, the second question, if I understand it right, you said the young ones are not ready to marry.
They find it difficult to marry in the Jamaat.
It's still the societal values too. Because I think if you know the importance of being an Ahmadi member, if you understand what Islam teaches, what Ahmadiyya really is, you find it very difficult to opt out. But when you think very high, when you think that the people that you are seeing in the Jamaat are not up to your standard, maybe it's in education or in wealth, because there are some families that believe that they are too wealthy to bring themselves to the level of some other families that are not as wealthy as them. And then there are some too that will say, with my level of education, you now want me to go so low to marry somebody that is not up to my level. But we should all understand that whatever is attributed to this life is only for this life. What we should be after is the hereafter. Everything will pass away, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remain forever and ever. So we should put that as paramount in our mind, so that every other thing will fall in place. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan. Our Yoruba listeners, please don't because this how far time can permit us. And the answer speakers too, please let's manage what we already have in English because of time. Respected Chairman, sir, we wish to call on the Rishtanata department to give us their thoughts of this program, the recommendations that they have put together from the thoughts of all the parents for the whole house to go to table. And they should also assure us that this program will not be one for all. At least this year, it's going to be a continuous exercise for the betterment of our home, because we learned that the pharmacy science, Rahmatullah said, if we resolve the problem, the matrimonial problem, then about 70%, I don't know how far that reference is true, but we have, like he said, if matrimonial issues are well resolved, then about 70% of the challenges are already resolved. So, I call on the Rishtanata department, please.
We want to appreciate everyone for their contribution towards this program. Things that we have highlighted is that there is a need for us to do this program on a regular basis. Inshallah, we will work on that. And what we are also saying that even in doing it on a regular basis, we should ensure that each of those programs are targeted at a particular issue. For example, we can target sexual problem, marital life in a particular program, talk about matchmaking and some other marital issue in another program. So we can be segmented and be able to address issues holistically and be able to bring solutions to some of the issues. Inshallah, we will do that and we will take note of that. Also, people have raised issues of us not attending to their petitions or their letters to my guys on time. We have a lot of letters here in the group, and they can only come on weekends. We are all workers working and respecting, and the weekends too is like something we have to speak and all that. So what we are trying to do is that apart from attending to those letters more frequently now, I also plan to start moving out. We want to start going to circles, Japan, to organize this kind of seminar, where some of the issues that are burning in those circles can be raised. We can provide solutions to them, prevent crisis, rather than allowing them to come to them and we are overwhelmed there. And so that there are a lot of letters that are attended. It is good. But we cannot handle more than one issue, two in a day, in a weekend, and there are a lot of letters. So we are working on traveling around now, going to circle to all sorts of problems. Inshallah, we also do that. We also want to advise people at home. Our Rishtanata committee are various circles and let us listen to them. Many of the issues that come to Local need not to come at all. If we have respect for our circle president, for our circle Rishtanata committee, and we are able to listen to them in the fear of God. So if they are able to solve some at the circle level, we have little cases coming to the headquarters for us to solve. Inshallah. Also, we want people are raising issues that we don't sanction, we don't punish people and all that. Most of the time we don't know about this issue. Let us be reporting marital ceremony that comes to decent dressing, that comes to music, that comes to dancing, and they did it that they did with Jaman. It's not that we want to be partial. When you are not told, we will know. We can't be going around ceremonies in Nigeria to see what happens there. So if a very big person in Jaman does something and you don't report, we will know. It's not a matter of being partial. It's only what we report that we're able to attend. Let us report more of these things so that we can attend to them and counsel people about people. Also, the issue of people marrying outside the Jaman. There's no doubt about that you want to be. Married males are getting fewer compared to married females for whatever reason that we all know. So what we are trying to do now is to help our matchmaking effort. The committee has designed the goal for. What we do initially is for us to ask circle president or the president to collect the name of marriageable male and female. But because of stigma, so people will not tell them that they need husband, they need wife, even widower, divorcee, young individual, they don't want to come out because they don't want to be tagged as they are looking for husband or they are looking for wife. So for confidentiality's sake, we are sending a form that will be distributed across the country. Just go to the link, give me your information, we get at the back end and we can work on it for our marketing effort, for guidance. Phone number is also there for us to make communication, talk to those individuals and I want to make it more confidential in doing those issues. Also, we want to advise parents that the issue of getting married these days is not the work of the community alone. parents also see as a responsibility on their own part and give support to their children as much as possible. Then when we look at the community, let us also give the community some respect. What we have seen that people have made up their mind before coming to another community. If we are spending with some people, discussing the same issue, they will not change. And most of the time when men, especially men, let me say men, when they want to divorce a woman, there is something that will tell them they will not listen. And when they divorce that woman, the woman is at the receiving end. We are talking about people who are divorcing, not being married. We want to push some other people to that stage of being divorcing. So our men and our women should also make up their mind that when the community comes or get involved in their matter, they want to listen to the people there, they want to listen to the word of God, and also want to have a change of heart. That's how we can get the best out of our negotiation. I would like to say that the Jamaat has issues in terms of matrimony, we all know about it, but we also come together to solve those issues. One of the ways to solve issues about marital issues in the Jamaat, people not getting married in the Jamaat, is also polygamy. You are not employing that everybody should do that. So even if there is half-wife, so if you should marry half-wife. So you are not saying everybody who has one wife should go into polygamy. You are not saying that. But for those who can go into polygamy, to mop up the widows, the divorcee, the single women we have in the society, they should also do so that they don't be able to have a balanced society. That's the essence of polygamy in the first instance. If you continue to say that we have problems, people are getting divorced, and all that, because men has a lot of function. You know that if you divorce his wife, you marry, you get another woman to marry. So because of the population of women, and the fact that we are also not mopping them up, it's also putting them at disadvantage. So we need to also come together and see that we have issues and find the way of solving it holistically. Normally, the Allah coming to help us, inshallah, will organize more of this, more targeted at different issues, and hope that we can have support with our support, we will achieve more. The mind Allah coming to assist us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
barakatuh. We have all listened to him, and may Allah Almighty bless every one of us. We appreciate our coming, we appreciate our effort, we appreciate all the facilities we have put in place, and all the prayers that we have put before Allah Almighty for the success of this program. I go back to the respected chairman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
For this very interesting and very beneficial interactive session. Now next our agenda is closing remarks. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Distinguished members of Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat Nigeria, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
In the virtual meeting with the National Majlis Amila of Nigeria Jamaat, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, Allah Ta'ala Aziz, addressed our respected National Secretary for Tarbiyat and said that if you emphasize on Tarbiyat, 95% of your issues will be solved automatically. So Malik Qasim Sahab says 70 matrimonial are solved. I think Hazrat Sahab has made it somehow broader in the canvas by saying that if your Tarbiyat issues are solved, 95% of Jamaat's problems are going to be solved. So Rishtanata department should work and is working very closely with the Tarbiyat department because they are interconnected. Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam remains best uswa for all of us. That's why Allah Almighty used a word for him, and that is uswatul hasana, the best and exemplary uswa for whole mankind. I will just tell you one or two things. After that, we are going to close this session. Hazrat Khadija radiallahu anha was the first and senior most wife of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And Aisha was junior most in terms of age. Hazrat Khadija radiallahu anha was at home, and Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came from Cave Hira and narrated narrated the story of the first revelation. Then he narrated the story, what happened, how the angel came and what he said, all that. Holy Prophet said, "Khashitu ala nafsi." I fear about myself. I don't know what is going to happen. What is all this experience? I am terrified. Khadija said, "Kalla wallahi ma yukhzika Allahu abadan." My husband, never. Allah will never risk you. Why? Then Khadija started counting the great values and high morals of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That was the testimony for Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam from the Bible. Now let's go to the junior most wife, Hazrat Aisha. Somebody came and he asked that Mu'minin, Kaifa kana khuluquhu? How was the morals and life of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? And she said, Kana khuluquhu, I want to know about Holy Prophet in Quran. All the great attributes depicted in Quran were in the life of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. These are the two accounts, from senior most wife, from junior most wife. So he remains uswa for us. So whenever we have any issue in our matrimonial homes, we should always go back to the uswa of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This sitting should not remain without the guidance of Hazrat Khalifah Masih. There are some extracts in front of me from Hazrat Khalifah Masih from the lecture delivered in Jalsa Salana UK 2021 at the Rishna site. They are very short extracts from Huzur's address, and I would request the Career Department of Jamaat and Rishtanata Department that if we can publish this in a pamphlet form and distribute it with the help of auxiliary bodies, I think it is going to help us a lot. Huzur says, the promised Messiah, al-Islam, said, if one truly understood the degree to which Islam had enjoined men to be just to their wives, then perhaps men may not even marry one wife, out of fear of not being able to fulfill these conditions. Polygamy is sunnah of Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But that sunnah is conditional. The condition is you must fulfill the rights of the first wife, then with mutual agreement you can go for the second wife. Then Huzur proceeds and says, the first witness of man's moral conduct is his wife. Furthermore, Islam teaches that the best among you is the one who is best to his family. If one cannot reconcile with his wife, then he cannot reconcile with God. Huzur says, the promised Messiah al-Islam states that God knows everything. If in the case of separation, if the woman has been treated unjustly and prays against her husband, then that prayer is heard by God. Thus, men are being warned to be mindful of the manner in which they treat their wives. So these extracts are very helpful when we are discussing these issues which we have been discussing this morning. And the last one, but not the least, is if the wife is working and earning. This was one of the questions which was raised by someone, that earning of the wife, how far the husband can tell that, okay, now you will pay the school fees, or you are going to bring food stuff, this and that. So how far the man can go in the earning of the wife? Huzur says, if the wife is working and earning, the man should not so much as glance at her rent. So to provide for the wife and the family is sole responsibility of the husband. And if she is earning and by her will, she wants to spend something at home, it is a favor from her, not compulsion on her. So may Almighty Allah help all of us to curb these issues that are affecting us really. May Almighty Allah bring peace into lives of our family members. And may Almighty Allah make our Jamaat so pleased that the favors and bounties of Almighty Allah are experienced by us day and night. May Almighty Allah help all of us. Now I would request Dr. Tawfiq Sanisa, who wants to give us a vote of thanks, and then Respected Amisa is going to close this session with the closing prayer.
We thank Almighty Allah for giving us the money to organize this program. We appreciate the support of the Jamaat. We are Mr. for approving this program, for being with us from the beginning to now. We want to appreciate the support of our invited guests, starting from the Principal Jamaat Bashiri, Madam Jamaat Nigeria, to Shenalomi, to Jari Pola, the moderator of this program, our respected Sadna, Mansimateku, Dr. Nico, Dr. Mashida, Dila Abumadi, Dr. Abumadi, Dr. Wayagi, everybody who has supported, those who translated in Igbo and Hausa, everybody who has been in this program, I appreciate you all for your support. Also, the Canada Secretary, Alhaji Chico, Alhaji Abumadi, everybody here, we thank you. Your audiovisual department, your identity, also thank you. And also thank you for the Secretary of this committee for all the support. We pray that Allah will continue to be with our family, Allah will continue to strengthen our family, and inshallah we are a good model for the people of the world about what Islam teaches about good fighting, what Allah will be with us all. I hope to meet you all in our next series of the program, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I request humbly from the respected Amisa to close this session with the closing prayer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please join me in closing prayers. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah okay.
Recording stopped.
La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. 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 La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasul